Lamar Jackson. Game of the year, maybe? Bad beat of the year, maybe, if you were on the Browns. And tremendous performance of the year. 9 rushing touchdowns in a Monday Night Football game. He wasn't cramping. He was cramping. But Lamar Jackson came back and was spectacular. Ran for 124 yards, passed for 163. In the Ravens' big win over the Cleveland Football Browns, we had a conversation, let the Browns go out and beat somebody, and then I'll think they're real. But you can earn respect in a loss. And 47-42, the way you lose sometimes says a lot. This isn't the way the Browns normally lose to teams in their division. This isn't the way the Browns normally get beat. The Browns played well enough to win offensively and got beat at the end by Jason Tucker. What's good, y'all? Merry Tuesday. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Micah's producing back at Radio Ranch. Alden and J-Pole on the ProView Network's visual medium side. JJ, I don't know if it was game of the year. It was pretty doggone good. And to me, the Browns earned respect in a loss. Now, it doesn't do them any good in the standings, but I believe more in the Browns maybe today than I might have 24 hours ago.
That was a great football game. It was 35-34 with 2 minutes to go. And to see how that one ended, the return of Lamar Jackson on 4th down emerging from the locker room, you heard him say it. He didn't pull a Paul Pierce. Everyone thought that's what he was doing. You know, he had to go to the bathroom, comes back. If he was cramping or not, whatever he did, he got back out there and made one tremendous play. It was exactly what you expect out of Lamar Jackson. 4th and 5, breaking out of the pocket. Everyone goes, whoop, he's running, let's go. Leaves B-Roll Brown, who was dropping passes all night long wide open, catches a huge one down the field. And the best kicker in the game ultimately after Baker Mayfield responded. This is a Browns team that I'm all in on. And we can question the record, and you can do the same thing like with the Steelers when you start thinking about, all right, if you want to power rank it. But once you get into the playoffs, they have everything that's needed to compete. And what Kevin Stefanski has done with this team has been absolutely phenomenal. You saw the best of Baker at times yesterday with what this offense can do. You said it with the rushing touchdowns both ways, but then Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, just a fantastic game. It was what primetime football is all about.
Most rushing touchdowns in an NFL game I heard since 1922, which is a couple of days ago. Baker was good. So Lamar comes out of the toilet, bathroom, cramp stall, whatever it was, and finds Hollywood Brown. And Baker comes back, and what they score with a minute 19, a minute 15 to go. Baker, the drive Baker led was almost too efficient. Like it was terrific, and he left too much time. I thought Baker was good. Baker, to me, earned a lot of points yesterday. 343 yards, a couple of touchdowns. The interception was big. It was a big interception, but the Browns, I bought into the Browns. I believe more in the Browns now than I did 24 hours ago. The Ravens, I thought this was in them. Like, to me, there's still something about the Ravens. I know that defense has switched over. I know most of those guys are gone, but there's still a toughness to what they do defensively. They still seem to find a way when it really, really matters, or at least I thought, and I thought there was going to be enough Lamar there. So I believed in the Ravens, even though they were on the outside looking at the playoffs, and they were a game behind the Browns. I just wasn't certain, or 2 games behind the Browns. I just wasn't certain that I believed in the Browns. And what I saw from them last night was impressive on a big stage in a big game in a big moment. They just didn't win.
Yeah, and going back to the interception, that was just a great play of the linebacker dropping Baker. Whether it was not reading or thinking he could throw it past someone that was standing right in front of him. Big turnover there. But that was the best of both those teams at moments last night, especially in that 4th quarter. That second half, Baker Mayfield making plays with his legs as well. But that's what the Ravens offense wants to be. Less about Lamar Jackson having to make plays downfield and more about making plays off the run game, and that's what they did last night. There's still that question because there's going to be games where you're not, rushing for 4 scores. So are you going to be able to make some of those throws? He did late. He missed some of the early ones. Missed some early in that contest, overthrown receivers that were running into space. So that's still the question with Lamar Jackson. But we saw what both teams want to do, what they want their identity to be, and it led to fantastic football.
The Ravens rushed for 231 yards, which at the NFL, look, you see that in college football weekly on a regular basis. The NFL, 231 yards rushing is a big number. I mean, you kind of come out of that game and said, wow, the Browns ran the ball well, and they ran for 138 yards. 231 yards rushing and 124 by your quarterback is a big deal. So is Lamar back? And look, I think you've got to realize he's struggled at times, and certainly in some big games this year. And he progressed quite a bit last year, quite a bit. MVP level. Is he back? Like, does that game bring him back to Brian Greasy say on the broadcast last night, he's one of the best that ever played the position? I think that might be a little bit of a stretch. But when we hit the end of last year, I think the majority of people said he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Like, if you would have said top 5 at that point, you'd have put him in that conversation, right? I don't think you were putting him in the conversation a week ago. So is he back?
If he's playing like that, he's back to what the Ravens expect Lamar Jackson to do. And that's be a presence running the football in a limited amount of throws, be able to make big-time throws downfield and hit wide-open receivers off of his ability to create outside of the pocket. And it's, because Lamar Jackson's different. We all get that. We see that. He's not judged the same way just in terms of play as, say, Russell Wilson or Patrick Mahomes, but with what they want to do with his skill set. Last night was the good Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, they get the Jaguars this week, who have not won since opening day. They get the Giants, who have gotten better, but are really struggling with quarterback play. I think Daniel Jones came back too early last week. And they finish with the Bengals, who won, twice? So they've got an incredibly favorable schedule down the stretch to make the playoffs. And, they're not going to catch the Steelers, obviously, but to move up and find some better seeding. I thought it was impressive by both teams last night. Like I said, great win for the Baltimore Ravens. This was so emotional for them. This was such a big game, and it's always big when the Ravens come to town, right? Because the Ravens are the former Browns. The Ravens are the Browns. Art Modell loaded up the Mayflower truck overnight and rolled out of town. But this was more. If you're a Cleveland fan, I'm telling you, you can still hang your head high. I think you still feel good about this team. They're not going to the Super Bowl this year, but I think they can win a game in the playoffs. And look, I was just about off the Baker Mayfield train. I was to the point where I just don't buy it. I don't think it's going to work. And just because he beat up a bunch of bad teams didn't make me change my mind. Now I'm starting to lean to, okay, there's progression. All right, he's a leader. They're buying him. He kept every punch he counterpunched, and Baker Mayfield for me, and I think a lot of other people earned a lot of respect last night.
Baker Mayfield is in the Alex Smiths of first overall picks. Like, he's never a guy that you're going to say is probably the best quarterback in the league, but he's talented enough, as we saw last night and throughout the season, at times to be an efficient winning quarterback in this league. And I think that's the level that he's gotten himself to this season. And yeah, that one stinks. Like what you said about losing to Baltimore and them being the former Browns and that, the AFC North rivalry, and when it felt like you had everything right there for you to lose that way again in prime time. And these opportunities don't come along a lot for the Browns, and yet they have never beaten the Ravens.
This was that hump game. Yeah, this was that hump game, JJ. This was like, remember we talked about the Bills and the Patriots a few weeks ago, and while the Bills were better, it was a big, a passing of the torch game that I really believed. If the Bills could beat them, it was the passing of the torch. The Patriots have won that division for forever, and the Bills won, and they didn't win by a lot. This was the hump game for Cleveland to beat one of those bullies in their division, the Steelers and the Ravens, on primetime and on a national game, to get over the top and go to 10-3. Right? I mean, they're 9-3. To go to 10-3 and to beat one of those bullies, and it happened to be them. And they didn't get there, but to me, they earned a respect. How about if you had the Browns in 3?
Bad beat?
Oh, is that a brutal beat? How about, and I saw, not that anybody cares, and it didn't happen to me, but I looked at our fantasy football playoffs, and a dude won by 2 points because he had Jason Tucker. Like, how about getting beat and knocked out of the playoffs because Jason Tucker hit that last-second field goal to beat you? Like, damn, bro. Sorry. Sucks. Kickers. That's the Micah way to lose. Kickers. All right, we got a big show for you today. The Mountain West Conference Offensive Player of the Week is going to be with us at 8 o'clock. Isaiah Chavez, Rio Rancho High School. Freshman. True freshman. Walk-on. True freshman. QB5, as J.J. Buck likes to call him. See if he likes that nickname, J.J. I don't know if this is going to stick with him. Maybe he will like it. Maybe he'll wear it around his neck as a badge of honor. I would. Especially, a guy who's going to get thrown into the mix. I can't sit here and tell you I think he's going to be the starting quarterback next August or September, but I can tell you I think he's going to be in the mix. And like Danny Gonzalez said on our show yesterday, he's the guy to beat now, right? I mean, it's his. Yeah. Somebody's got to go take it from him. Danny said that on the show yesterday.
And won 2 football games for this team. They believe in him. There was a different level of confidence. He has a great level of belief in himself with his decision making, his decisiveness, and the world came at him fast, and he responded.
All right, so we'll talk to him at 8 o'clock. We'll get into the Pac-12 championship game. COVID has changed around the Pac-12 championship game. One team in, one team out. Signing day is coming up tomorrow. We didn't get into Jimmy Collins passing yesterday. We certainly need to do that. A lot of NFL. 505-246-0610 is how to join the show today. That's 505-246-0610. Emails come to us. Jeff at 610knml.com. JJ at 610knml.com. Follow JJ on the Twitter. It's _JJ Bucket on the Facebook. We're the OD in the AM. Watch us on ProView Networks, and you're listening to 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
You've seen Rich Eisen. As Javi's looking, and he's got a guy wide open, and it's Gay, and he's going to walk into the end zone. But he did a good job with it. First and goal, it's Chavez to the middle, and Chavez stops.
And Stevens in motion. On the handoff to Mitchell. Look out! Oh, see you later. Take it to the house. Fly. Cardinals fly. To the other side. Provides some protection. And off to Webskowski again. Look out. See you later. Good night. Touchdown, Webskowski. An 8. 2 receivers at the top. Harris has all day. He's going to fire to the end zone. Open man. Touchdown. Wildcats. Not a defender inside. A little bit. Webskowski on the sideline. Hasta mañana. He's off to the races. Touchdown, Clovis.
Albuquerque this afternoon.
34-24. Rancho late to third. How about this run? Nice play. Dickerman. He's still on his feet. Touchdown, Wolverine.
Exactly what they want to get yards. He's going to go for it. He's got a guy towards the end zone. It's grabs. Touchdown. What a play.
And long here for the Storm. Handoff to, we're going to fake the handoff, excuse me. Davidson on the deep ball. He's got some space, and it's caught. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Storm. Wow. Santa Maria.
And so they'll send one deep and returnable at the 2. Usually Volcano do either a reverse or a fake reverse, and here it is a reverse. And a move to the outside. There is a lane. Look out! Shot out of a cannon. Rodriguez is going to take it all the way.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Tucker with a chance to win it from 55 yards. Morgan Cox for the snap. Sam Cook the hold. Tucker's kick is traveling down the middle. It is long enough. It is good! And with 2 seconds left to play.
The hay is in the barn, is what he yelled. WMAR Ravens Radio. Jason Tucker, the opera singing quarterback. Addie's favorite kicker, not quarterback, kicker, favorite kicker, nails the game winner. The Ravens, 47-42, they tacked on a safety on a last play, pitch it backwards, and if you got fantasy football points, you got them, but more so if you got the Ravens and gave the 3, you win the bet, and if you got the Browns and you took the 3 and you lose the bet, and how that one had to hurt. You always see those, not always, but you see those often, a few times a year. Bad beats like that on last plays that just teams are pitching the ball around, chucking it, and somebody scores on the last play and spins the spread. See that a lot.
You see it every weekend in some way or another, whether it's final play, a crazy last few minutes, a 3-point shot that's thrown in what you think is a meaningless game that either covers or takes it over. And Scott Van Pelt, that's what he does every Monday night. He shows you that. He reminds you. It's ridiculously hard.
It's
try
hard.
to pick games and hit numbers. And you think, all right, you got a winner. And then the dude's like, you know what? No time left. I'm just going to throw this from like 3/4 court, see what happens.
Oh, they cover. Yep, it matters a lot. All right, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. It's the opening drive. Jeff and JJ. Mike is at Radio Ranch producing downtown on the radio side. You can watch the show on ProView Networks. Alden and Jay Pohl are producing downtown. JJ, Isaiah Chavez is the conference offensive player of the week. Like, I mean, you could have gone Chevron Cordero. You could have gone a lot of places. But the story that is Isaiah Chavez is terrific. Young man's going to join us at 8 o'clock. Good for him. And I said this yesterday, and I believe this in talking to people and watching a little bit of the social media, and you know, I don't watch a ton of it, but you see what I see. Lobo fan, whether they knew they were football fans or not, needed this. Lobo basketball fan needed it as they get ready to play Our Lady of the Lake tonight. Lobo fan needed this. Feels like Albuquerque, in some respect, needed it to end the season on a 2-game winning streak. And I got it, man. They're 2-5, and I'm not looking to blow this thing into they should be in the Orange Bowl. I really am not. But to end the season the way they did, to go through what they went through, and then the story of a local kid, a walk-on, a freshman, a QB5. We've been over it a million times. I just got. Like, all of a sudden, this town needed this guy. This town needed this young man, and it's going to be, you know, now he's in the spotlight. It's going to be interesting to see how he handles it. It's going to be interesting to see what he does in spring practice, if there's spring, and certainly, you know, next fall, we assume there'll be football. But you got something to watch. You got something to feel good about. And I just, every town needs it. But this town hadn't had a winner in a while, and you don't have a winner, right? I mean, at 2-5, they're not a winner, but they won their last two, and you feel like you're going to get one. And this town needed a feel good.
I think you'd hope, you know, those that just follow said sport don't need to be reminded they're only 2-5. Where did they come from? What did they start with? And how did they finish? Like, it was refreshing. The last 2 weeks were incredibly impactful for this program. And the fact it is a true freshman walk-on from Rio Rancho has people even more invested in the story, because ultimately all these players choose to represent New Mexico when they commit and come play in whatever sport it is at the university. But there's no doubt about it, hits differently when it's a hometown kid that people about this time a year ago had just finished watching, you know, in a state title game in high school football, yet to be elevated to this position, to start a game as a true freshman. Yeah, walk-ons have played before. Usually don't see that at quarterback in their true freshman season. So it's a story that you have to just keep starting there. And then it's a trickle-down effect. How he played, how the team responded. He scored 49 points with him at quarterback, and he didn't turn the football over. His decision-making was phenomenal. He did not look like a true freshman on that field on Saturday.
You're right on the local piece. Like, it would be a really good story, and I think people would feel good still about the Lobos if he was from Sugarland, Texas, or Escondido, California, or Prescott, Arizona, or Orem, Utah, or pick your spot on the map. It doesn't matter. It'd be a good story. But the fact that he is local, that Danny has talked so much about local kids, that Danny was a walk-on local. Rocky had made such a name for this team with locals. And it's been a conversation. I'm not going back on what I said all those years. I know we spent hours about people pissed that this should be 50. When there like a legislator at one point that wanted to mandate that the Lobo roster be made up of majority 50% or more. Wasn't there a percentage on it? You know, kids from New Mexico at one point. We were having this conversation a few years back. And you know, Bob Davie won't recruit local, and he did. He just didn't, you know, would Isaiah Chavez have happened under the previous coach? And I don't know the answer. I can't sit here and tell you no. Would he have walked on? Did Bob have local kids? Absolutely he did. Absolutely he did. Cole Gauchi played for Bob Davie, didn't he? And had success when he was healthy. But the fact that he's local and Danny's preached it and Rocky's preached it in the past, and they practice what they preach. You saw, Erickson, and you saw, all the local kids that are having success blended in with guys that you're getting from other places. I just think, yes, you're right. The fact that he is from Rio Rancho, that here's that local kid. And what was the young man? Was it Austin Briere, another kid from Rio Rancho, that went on to the junior college and I never played, and that was the whole, why didn't Bob Davey take him? Well, why didn't anybody take him? I mean, the kid put up ridiculous numbers. Why didn't anybody take him? But this young man feels different, and the local piece of it is a gigantic feel good. And this, just like I said, this town needed it, dude.
Yeah, and it's something that, think watching the game Saturday right after the fact, and then even just going into this week, is like, enjoy these moments. Like, it's okay to have more than just hope because you got a victory. Like, this team responded in the most improbable situations. Like, I did not think Isaiah Chavez could lead a team offensively like that to a victory over Fresno State, who is very good themselves, has a quarterback that's leading a top 15 offense in the nation, the number one passing offense in the Mountain West. And you're like, yeah, Isaiah Chavez looked nice and all. They're probably going to really have to run the football. But he did it. And the story is unbelievable. And to your point, it was needed. You need these moments to remind you there's a reason we do like sports so much. It's not always doom and gloom. It doesn't always have to be so bad. It's okay to have moments where you go, you know what? That was just darn right fun.
Yeah. Another thing we've spent a lot of time on, and we're going to go to the phones. Well, let's go to the phones, and I'll hit you on this. JT, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hello, JT.
How's the sports animal fam today?
I think we're good, man. Everybody's healthy and happy and feeling good. What'd you do?
I'm not going to talk about sports yesterday because I didn't get a chance to call, and I won't blame it on my boss. But
me too.
I have to call and talk about my Lobos, Jeff. My beloved Lobos. All right? You know what? I told you when I called the last time, I said I didn't care about victories on the field, the scoreboard. I cared about what we were going to be after that last game. What we were going to be. What message was this team going to send to the fans? Not people like me who bleed Lobo red, but people that sit on the fence. I don't know, this and that. Okay, so this is what happened. I want to congratulate the players, the coaches for doing the right thing for 6-7 weeks away from us, doing the right thing to stay on the field, to play these games. And guess what they became? They created an attitude with the rest of the Mountain West. Okay, they say we're done. You're not going. We're not going down 10, and then in the past we lose by 30. Okay, we're going down 10. If we go down by 10, we're coming back. Okay, don't you worry. We're going to stay here for 60 minutes. Okay, that's the message we sent. And Isaiah Chavez sent a message too, okay? You can't measure a man's heart. You can't measure a man's heart. You might be able to measure his height and his weight, but you can't measure a man's heart. He got the opportunity. He took advantage of it. He waited his turn. And like he said, I'm going to prepare to be the number one all the time. So he's going to get a chance to start, Jeff. So what they did was they sent a message to Lobo fans, okay? Get ready, get your tickets now, okay? We're gonna start something that's gonna be amazing, okay? We've only just begun, so let's get our tickets now. Let's get behind this team. Let's get behind our basketball team now, and let's do this, okay? I gotta go. You guys have a great day.
See you, JT. Thanks to your boss for letting you call. No, he's right. And enjoy it. Man, you spend so much time invested in a team and they don't win. I mean, enjoy the whole offseason, man. Enjoy this. Back to it when we come back. Isaiah Chavez at 8 o'clock this morning, the Mountain West Conference Player of the Week on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
At Great Clips, our great care promise means
So we got
we're following
approval
through
yesterday.
Call it as Javi's looking, and he's got a guy wide open, and it's Gay, and he's gonna walk into the end zone. But he did a good job with it. First and goal, it's Chavez to the middle, and Chavez stops.
And Stevens in motion. On the handoff to Mitchell. Look out! Oh, see you later. Take it to the house. Fly. Cardinals fly. To the other side. Provide some protection. And off to Webskowski again. Look out. See you later. Good night. Touchdown. Webskowski. He's going to fire to the end zone. Open man, touchdown, Wildcats. Not a defender inside. A little bit. Skowski on the sideline. Hasta mañana. He's off to the races. Touchdown, Clovis.
Albuquerque this afternoon.
34-24. Rancho late in the third. How about this run? Nice play. Dickerman, he's still on his feet. Touchdown, Wolverine.
Exactly what they want to get yards.
He's going to go for it. He's got a guy towards the end zone. It's grabs. Touchdown. What a play.
And long here for the Storm. Handoff to, we're going to fake the handoff, excuse me. Davidson on the deep ball. He's got some space, and it's caught. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Storm. Wow. Santa Maria.
And so they'll send one deep and returnable at the 2. Usually Volcano do either a reverse or a fake reverse, and here it is a reverse. And a move to the outside. There is a lane. Look out! Shot out of a cannon. Rodriguez is going to take it all the way.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons.
Found JT's call refreshing, and I hope that's where the majority of you are. And I think it is. I really do. Just like I told you, the feel good that I felt going around town, coming off of 2 wins to end the football season. And we talked to Danny about it. What does it do, into your off season? Maybe we make sometimes too much of the last game of the year, and I think we have in the past. I don't think we are this time. And why I think this is different is the uniqueness of the COVID season, what it was, but where this program has been for the last 3 years before this, the change that you made at quarterback, and like Danny said yesterday, I come in and I talk a lot. At some point, you got to have a results. Yeah, that's great, coach, but you're over. And to see the progress that he talked about, and to me, it is significant. If you lose to Wyoming at the end of a season and you go 2-10 as opposed to 3-9, does it make a big difference? But to go 2-5, to finish the way you finished, to win 2 games with your 5th-string walk-on freshman quarterback, I do think it's significant, and I'm glad he's enjoying that.
It matters where you are as a program. If you're year 2 or 3 and you're a coach that has some stability, you have a bad year, all right. It's like the Aztecs all of a sudden aren't going to be bad because they lost the last game of their season because they're an established program, right? It also matters if you're, say, on that hot seat at Kevin Sumlin and how that worked out for him in their Arizona State game. So, yes, in year
might have
one.
mattered.
Yeah, scoreboard. In year 1, we're a program that had so many negative streaks on the record book coming into this season. Oh, and by the way, had to relocate for the entire season, which they turned into a positive. And there's benefits from what happened. And hearing Danny Gonzalez talk about the team buying in the relationship between players and coaches, which is probably actually better for them this season than it would be if they were back home, to be able to have so many things that were like, man, how are you going to handle this whole season on the road? Got to play at Sam Boyd Stadium, can't be home. And they're like, you know what? We actually are probably a closer football team. We trust each other more. They believe what these coaches are telling them on a daily basis. And then to go out there and win, yes, 100% huge impact moving forward, because it just reignites the belief in Danny Gonzalez. You were always going to have that honeymoon period with him. Alumni coming back, hometown kid coming back to take over the program. You get that boost just naturally. But now all of a sudden, let's add a incredible story to it with a true freshman walk-on quarterback from Rio Rancho winning a game, as we've seen this team compete at a different level throughout the season. Yep, that's going to matter moving forward.
Yep, we're on the same page. Rudy, I think you are probably too. Rudy, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Good day, sir.
Oh, I am. Before I talk about the Lobos, I did want to take a minute to acknowledge the passing of Jimmy Collins. That was a great player. Great guy. Happened to know his son, and we always gigged each other about Lobo Aggie, but when it comes to something like that, we're all on the same page. So rest in peace, Jimmy Collins. You were a great one. What JT said is the buzz around town, okay? Go anywhere. Talk to anybody. Go get your hair cut. Say Lobos. Say Isaiah Chavez. He caught the attention of Allstate. Did you know that?
No. What do you mean?
Allstate Insurance, the Sugar Bowl, Allstate Sugar Bowl. He's one of the quarterbacks of the week for the Manning Award. So if you go to my webpage or my Facebook page, you'll see the link. You go like the Allstate page, and you can vote for Isaiah Chavez as the quarterback of the week, a la Peyton Manning.
That's beautiful.
Okay, so
that's beautiful.
He's getting recognition. And here's the thing about that game. You can say anything you want. JJ knows. What were the last 2 scores of the Fresno State New Mexico football games before Saturday night? 38-7 and 38-0. Those are the last 2 times we played Fresno State. 38-7 and 38-0. Those aren't even football games.
Beatdowns.
The Fresno Bee can call it an embarrassing loss. The only embarrassment was they got beat by a better team Saturday night. The Lobos played a better game.
Well, Rudy, I thought they played a better game. I thought the Lobo coaching staff did a hell of a job. I hate sitting around and saying one staff completely outcoached the other. Lobo staff completely outcoached Fresno State.
They that 2-4 whatever, 2-4-5. I always teased Rocky. I said, "What are you going to run the 1-1-9?" But I don't know what that formation was on defense, but it totally baffled the Fresno State offensive line. On our defensive line, just played amazing. It took how many years to get 8 sacks? We had 8 in one game. And I'll tell you what, I saw him go up to Hainer after the game, and Danny probably told him, "Hey, son, you took a licking. You're a tough kid," because we beat him senseless. And that's what you're supposed to do to the quarterback. It's hard to throw when you're sitting on your rear. Yep. And, Isaiah, I think he had, 1 sack maybe? He knew when to get rid of the ball. The kid has something that you can't coach, and JT said he has heart, he has brains. He knows the situation. He reacts to it appropriately. It's his job to lose. I don't think anybody here thinks that any quarterback should be starting other than Isaiah right now, and let's see what the kid can do for a whole season. But in 2 games, he showed me more at the quarterback position than anybody I've seen probably since, Graham Lee, Stoney Case, those kind of guys, high-level quarterbacks. So I'm really excited, and I'm excited for the basketball team because I don't see how you can go through that preseason and even get on the floor with the team. Rice was pretty good. They were undefeated. Now, who would they beat? It didn't matter. They had 5 games under their belt. And that makes a huge difference, or 4 games. And I think when you see this team, you know who's going to lead it, Makach Malwach, and that kid is a very willing, able player. So we haven't even talked about the girls. And I'm sure JJ will give us more information going forward, but I like the way they're made up, too. I think we have a real chance to have a great basketball season. So, everything is coming up roses, as they say, and I couldn't be happier for Danny and the team.
Right on, Rudy. It's really well said. So 24606 says where he got. There's so much there. Is this young man the quarterback of the future? And I ask you that with all the accolades thrown on him, how he's got it and he wins and he's got this moxie and he's made this town feel good. Is a 5th string guy? Is he your guy for the next 3 years? I guess I'm not convinced of that, but I'm not convinced he's not. A week ago, I was convinced
he's going to get the opportunity to compete. There's no doubt about it. And it's whether or not he becomes a starting quarterback for the next 3 years or is in a backup role. What the last 2 weeks have done is made sure that he has a role with his football program. And he's someone that's probably going to be able to earn a scholarship sooner rather than later. And know, hey, Isaiah Chavez is here. He's growing. He's working hard. He's won us football games. That's a good position to be in going into next year when just, I don't know, a week and a half ago, we're sitting there wondering if this team has a quarterback you can count on, or there's a dude that these guys believe and he's showed you he can do it on the football field.
Yeah. All right. He's going to be with us coming up at 8 o'clock, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in before that. Hey, think about this. Someone's maybe watching your home. Somebody may be watching your business. If the bad guy wants to break in, they notice when it is you come, when you go. There's patterns. That's why I have IPS, International Protective Service, patrols my home. They can watch your business, your home, protect what's important to you. You've got packages on the porch because it's holiday season, and that's how we all have to shop these days. IPS can help protect that. Since COVID started, break-ins commercially have been on the uptick. IPS can offer you assistance. Protect what's important to you. If your alarm goes off, International Protective Service responds within 5 to 7 minutes with a trained, armed security officer. They catch the bad guys. They stop break-ins before they happen. You want peace of mind? You need peace of mind. IPS offers you that. 505, call them. 505-897-2420. That's 505-897-2420. Or go see what they're all about at ipsglobal.com.
You could continue.
Moreno extra pass. And Watson. Out with it, Gallegos, and he's going to run all the way. Window, yes! Able to get out of it. How did he find Battle? It's to Cunningham, and it...
I mean, Ramos' hand.
Ramos puts it up, beats the buzzer!
Boy, Jefferson wide open.
Jefferson to Daraji! Into Watson with the jam!
Another steal by Davino Lovato, and here comes Agbaiosi, lob, two-hand hammer. You knew that was coming. The lob tagged by Osi, the one-hand hammer.
Put up. And a drive from Parham.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Creates space. He gives it off to Rivas for the three, and he buries it.
Could be coming in soon. Double pick set for Avalos. Goes to the right. Avalos puts it up high. Window. Scores it as foul.
Right here by Lewis all the way, coast to coast, and finish.
What a...
Around the screen, against White, step back, it's blocked! JB with the block!
In transition, ahead to hit on for the two-hand hammer.
Minutes to go, they've got a shot, they have a chance, and it's put up, and it's good! What a three that is by Jalen.
Hidon puts it up.
Rebound Cowboys. Right side David Hall. Thank you very much. Here come the Cowboys. Lamina Lovato lays it up. Missed it. Hey, how about it? Thank you, Lussus. Thank you very much, Raquan Mitchell. Clock at 6. They get it. Barnes Tompkins fires. Yes! Pass up court. This for the win. Blocked by DJ Bustos. Cowboys win. Cowboys win.
Second field goal, he's got 4 points. Watson, though, goes all the way.
Hit the deck, I should say. Cordova tried to throw it off Romero. A three for...
Set out to Jutapia. Nice move behind his back. It's a good... Here's Ramos, step back, high arcing, playing it!
But he needed to get his legs back under him.
Ooh, little kick.
They leave it one more time. Two-hand hammer.
Look at this, and then we'll score again. Look at this.
Up top. Yes, and the finish for Akbayosi. Saved into the hands of Riak. Ahead of the pack. Davina Lovato. Up high, down hard for Akbayosi. Out of the corner, Casals, the 3-0, Katenge! Let me clean up the mess. He dropped out of the rafters for that one, Steve.
(47-42). Ravens over the Browns, maybe the NFL game of the year. Last night you heard it here on your home for the National Football League, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Lamar Jackson ran for 124 yards and a couple of scores. He threw for 163 yards and a touchdown. Baker Mayfield was good. 28 for 47 was the Cleveland quarterback, 343 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and a one interception. The two teams combined for 9 rushing touchdowns. Justin Tucker hit a long field goal with 2 seconds left on the clock to provide the margin, well, not the final margin of victory, because the final margin of victory was on some jokey, hokey, roly-pokey, bouncy, houncy, weird little play that the ball went out of the end zone and flipped the spread. So the winning bet was the Ravens last night, 47-42, as they went in, Ravens -3.
Yeah, have fun with that if you had money going on Monday Night Football. The joys of sports betting. It was great primetime football. I was thoroughly entertained what we saw happen between Baltimore and Cleveland. You saw the best of Baker Mayfield at times in that second half. How about a little Hollywood Higgins? The dude that earned the nickname throughout the game was Hollywood Higgins from the Colorado State University over Marquise Brown. He came up big late with that touchdown catch, and that's what Lamar Jackson does when he breaks out of the pocket. All heck breaks loose. And you saw that with the Browns secondary, just coming back, 4th down play after he hadn't played, for a little while. Trace McSorley gets hurt on 3rd down, and then you wonder if Trace McSorley doesn't get hurt, is Lamar even run back onto the field at that time? Just so much went into that play specifically. And then what happened after the fact, the Browns scored, Justin Tucker. Oh, it was great.
Yeah, that was. The Lamar coming out of the locker room. So if he had cramps, I mean, what kind of cramps did he have? We've all had cramps that have, there's different cramps, right? I guess, whatever. So if he pulled Paul Pierce.
So hard to say he had the legit muscle cramps. And everyone's like, nope, you had to go to the bathroom, didn't you?
You had to make a poo, didn't you? Yeah.
No,
everybody's...
Because he came out, he did have a bandage on his left arm, potentially, where he could have got an IV, because that's a whole heck of a lot of work to do just to say you didn't have to go poo.
Yeah, so everybody's got to go poo now and then, right? I mean, there was my little children's book. Do you have the book? Because if you don't have it, I'm going to find it, and you need to read it to Austin. Do you have the book, Everybody Poops?
I don't think we have that one yet. But
it's the best. Fish poop. Cows make big poops. Yeah, I'll find the book for you. God, I got to figure out where it is because we cleaned out all our kids' books. Yeah, everybody poops, Micah. Even Lamar Jackson and Paul Pierce. But your point is so right.
2 minutes.
Whether or not Lamar comes back, if Trace McSorley doesn't get hurt, he sure as heck doesn't come back in that moment. He doesn't come back in that situation. Like, he might have come back later, and it very well might have been too late.
Yes. To be able
Crazy.
to step on the field, 4th and 5, make that play.
Fresh out of the locker room. Everybody.
Bandage or toilet paper on your arm, Lamar.
Mommy poops and daddy poops and Lamar poops. I mean, I'll find the book. I wish I knew where it was, man. Your kid's going to love it. You're going to love it more, by the way. Do you read in books on a regular basis?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I used to read them.
He's very interested in books. I know it's for the pictures, but he does like the books.
I used to read Addie 3 books a night. And I'd say, go pick your 3 books. And every night before I'd lay in bed with her, like when she was little, and read her 3 books a night. And she'd pick them out. And she had her favorites. And certainly that was one of them. But it's a good time. All right. Speaking of great stories, huh? Maybe this will be a book. 30 for 30. I don't know. Isaiah Chavez is going to be with us next. QB5, as Jay likes to call him. He is the better name for him is Mountain West Conference Offensive Player of the Week. Would you please refer to him as thus? He'll be with us next after leading the Lobos to the big 49-39 victory over Fresno State last week. That is scheduled next. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda, JJ, Buck, Micah, J-Pole, Alden. Glad you're here on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Dorian over. Did he get in?
Yeah, they got in.
Touchdown, Dorian Lewis.
Seconds to play. Benavides looking, still looking up the middle. It's intercepted. It's picked off by Freddie Anaya, and Roswell's season will end perfect.
Second quarter, 2nd and 4 for Socorro at the whole 44-yard line. McDaniel trying, good block by Hicks. First down and more, 30, 25, 20. McDaniel might be gone. Touchdown.
Wow.
Touchdown for Michael McDaniel.
It's 40 seconds this year. It's not like 25 like it used to be.
He laterals it back. What a play by Hightower. Pitch.
Looked like somebody moved a little bit early. Hicks, the play fake double move. He's got his receiver wide open. Caught. One man to beat. Touchdown. Touchdown to number 17, Nathaniel.
Third and 6. Big defensive play coming up here. Little trickery to Reese. See you later. Touchdown. They went for the deep ball to Reese.
To the right, single receiver split to the left. Play fake, and up the middle's got some room. 50, 45, 40, has one man to beat. 30, 25, 10, 5, touchdown. Touchdown, Hope.
Wow.
On a
Option again, he'll keep it. Now he'll pitch it. Comes out to the 30, 25, 20, up the sideline. Still inbounds, into the end zone. Let's see.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Portel.
The outside of running an out route. Davis in a play action, looking. He's going to go back to Lewis, and Lewis makes a cut, and Lewis still on his feet. Dorian Lewis is in for a touchdown. Back to tossing, he's got all day. It's one miss, and he's rolling. He's got a guy. Can he get it there? Davison to Luke Weissong.
We told you he
touchdown.
Could spin that football, and that was a throw right there. I know he's got the win in his back, but.
To shoot. They'll get one off, and it'll count high off the window.
Oh my gosh.
There's a long three.
Boom.
Bang. Martinez will beat the buzzer. Got it to go. His
Ford driving kick. Three's in the air. It's good.
Pass on the nice block by Hernandez Crawford.
And Brown in the transition. But why not, Steve? Is Corbalon's going to go and he puts it.
QB5. I think you can entitle the book or the movie or the 30 for 30 just QB5 when you tell the story. What if I told you a team spent their whole season in a hotel in another state, playing their whole season on the road? And what if I told you they were down to their fifth-string quarterback, a true freshman walk-on, and they won their last 2 games? QB5. Coming up next, Sunday night. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. We'll get back to your phone calls in a bit. QB5 was named Mountain West Conference Offensive Player of the Week yesterday. His parents call him Isaiah Chavez. You call him Isaiah Chavez. We'll call him Isaiah Chavez as well. He's with us on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Isaiah, good morning. Congratulations on the newly minted Offensive Player of the Week award. How you living?
Good. Thank you for saying that. No, I'm doing good.
Yeah, I think you are. You got to cut this town buzzing a little bit, Isaiah. It's got to be. What were the last 2 weeks like? I don't even know how, if you spent a 10-hour bus ride. I'm sure you probably got deep into thoughts a little bit about what's happened the last couple of weeks. Came out of nowhere, and I know you said you didn't ever think you'd hit the field in your freshman year, let alone now be in a position to be the starting quarterback going into spring. It's got to be an incredible whirlwind for you.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, it's been pretty crazy, you know. Reflecting on these past 2 weeks, it's been kind of wild. Thinking about reflecting on what's happened and how it's actually played out. It sucks because I hope all the guys are okay, but it's crazy how it actually worked out.
It is kind of crazy, right? You get your opportunity because guys that you like, you respect, that you're with every day, they go down. That's how you get your chance. But that's life, right. And that's certainly sports, and you took advantage of it. What made you so prepared, Isaiah?
I mean, just preparing like I am a starter. I'd always sit in QB meetings or whatever meetings we had or in practice, and I'd always take notes mentally, whether I didn't have my paper and pencil. But I'd always want to learn more. I'd always want to do better in practices. And I just think preparing mentally a lot harder than I have been before definitely prepared me for, just in case. And I think that really helped.
He's a Lobo quarterback, Isaiah Chavez. He's with us on the opening drive.
No, Isaiah, you said a couple weeks ago on one of those Zoom conference calls that the first time you stepped on a practice field as a Division I football player, like your brain hurt, like dissecting coverages, everything that you had to go through. What have you learned about being a quarterback over the last 8 weeks?
I think I've learned that, being a quarterback, you have to be patient. I think that you really need to look at your indicators on the defense. I really think that you need to learn a little bit about your guys, what they can do, know your personnel, what are their specialties, what can you do to help your team be successful. I felt like over the 8 weeks that those are the most important things that I needed to learn.
And with what this team was able to do the last 2 weeks, what did it mean to that locker room? What was just the energy like, being able to end the season the way you guys did?
I mean, the energy in the locker room was, amazing. We wanted to go out and send the seniors that won't be coming back with us out with the win, and make it memorable for them. So I felt like everyone that last game, the last 2 games really, everyone just kind of just poured their hearts out. And after that Wyoming win, oh my goodness, the locker room was crazy. But after the Fresno State game, the energy was outstanding. Coach G we always go into the locker room and pray because he tells us, never forget where you came from. He was absolutely right. But after that, guys it was just an amazing feeling.
Isaiah Chavez is a Lobo quarterback. He's with us on the opening drive. So Bobby Cole said something after the game, and this, you could talk about all your accolades on the field and what he did, but he said, man, I got mad respect for that dude. And the fact that those guys bought in, whatever it is you did to get their respect, to get them to buy into QB5 was a big deal. When did you realize those guys believe in me and I earned their respect? Was there a moment?
To be honest, it was really just after the games. I really thought going after that Wyoming game, going into practice, I really felt like everyone just, was kind of like, okay, like let's really see what this kid can do. And throughout the week, I've been proving myself, especially after that Fresno State game. I mean, guys were really just like, yeah, like this kid's got something to him. And I felt just like, I had to prove myself to those guys because, I had amazing guys in front of me. So I felt like I had big shoes to fill. So I just felt like I had to go out there and do my job. And that's what I tried to do. And, we came out victorious.
Yeah, you sure did. Danny Gonzalez said on our show yesterday, he said Isaiah Chavez is the guy going into spring. It's his job. Somebody's got to beat him. How do you feel about that? I mean, do you look at yourself now as when you look at the next game, let alone the next 3 years, do you envision yourself now as a Lobo starting quarterback for 3 more years?
I mean, it's still crazy to me. I really didn't. I had to find that out yesterday. I didn't even know that he said that. This is only really my second time hearing that, so it's kind of like crazy to me still. It's really just a dream come true, and trying to wrap my head around it. It's crazy, but I never thought I'd be in this position so early, which is, it's amazing.
You sound like a really humble young man. How are you keeping yourself grounded with all this? Because I'm sure there's love coming from everywhere. It sounds like you got your whole social media platform profile just grew exponentially. How are you keeping yourself grounded?
Yeah, I've never been a real attention guy. I like really just keeping to myself, and always. I felt like I could always be better because I know that there's always someone. Either someone's always going to be better than me. Someone's always going to want to work harder than me, and I feel like if I work harder than everyone, and I just do my job, and I don't have to flaunt it to anyone, or I don't need to, prove to anyone. I just need to do what I need to do for myself. Then, it's going to be hard, but, I always know that there's going to be someone better than me eventually. But I'm going to try and keep it off as long as possible.
Now, Isaiah, now that you have this experience, 1 year college football under your belt, what kind of quarterback do you think you can be, and what are some of the things that you want to work on in the offseason?
I definitely want to work on my technique and fundamentals, really. I think that, being a little bit of more of a dual threat, being able to run and pass, I feel like I could definitely work on a lot of things. I still feel like I could improve on a lot more. Really throwing the ball, people really didn't think I can throw that well, which that's okay. I really want to work on really just that, throwing the ball, technique, fundamentals. The little things really, because the little things make the biggest difference in the end.
Where did the finger guns and the salute come from? Because you got that down pretty good. Where'd that whole the celebration stuff come from?
Yeah, so me and the starting quarterback. After that touchdown, I was in shock. I had no idea what to do. I didn't know if I should go, go run to Bobby and just give him a big old hug. But I looked over to the sideline, and the sideline was going crazy. But I see the starting quarterback, Vok, the one that was out with the concussion. He was throwing them at me. And, I was
nice.
like, okay, yeah, I'll throw them back at you. And, they always catch the second guy. They always catch the second guy. And, it happened to be my thing. So I just went with it.
Go with it. No, enjoy. What do you think of the nickname? JJ said yesterday, man, forever he's going to be named QB5. He could be the starting quarterback for 3 more years, but he's QB5. What do you think of that?
It's cool. I don't care if I'm QB 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Coming in at QB5, it's cool. It doesn't matter what I am.
Let me ask you this. Go, JJ, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, too, Isaiah, Jeff asked you about all the attention that you've gotten, but how many cousins have you found out that you now have after the last 2 games?
Surprisingly, really, I haven't found out that I have any extra cousins. I really had one cousin A couple cousins text me actually, but I mean, surprisingly, I haven't really, found out that I have any more new ones.
Probably got a lot more friends, though, I'm going to assume. Hey, the local piece of this isn't lost on anybody, and you know this town. You grew up in Rio Rancho, Albuquerque metro area. I said at the top of the show, Isaiah, that this town needed this, and you guys have been out there for 6 weeks, so maybe you didn't really get the feel, but between COVID, what's gone on the last 3 seasons, Lowell basketball didn't start yet, and I think everybody really needed a feel-good. Do you appreciate it more maybe because you're a local guy and you know what all this can mean to this community?
Oh yeah, definitely. Just because, like you said, we haven't been real successful, in all sports, basketball, football. We had a part where we were really good and the community was behind us, and then we just had a little drought. I mean, showing what we can do, I felt like the community, was like, okay, like, UNM has something to them. And it wasn't that we had to prove ourselves to the community. It's that we had to show, like, we're going to be something, and we want everyone all in. And I just felt like it did more for the New Mexico athletes than anything.
Yeah, that's a big deal, huh? I mean, you guys are overlooked, under-recruited at times, and so you feel like you proved something not just for yourself, but for New Mexico athletes.
Yeah, I mean...
That's all right. I think that's great.
Yeah, I would say that New Mexico athletes are sometimes overlooked, and, it's hard for kids to go just play any sport. D1, D2, JUCO, it doesn't matter. It's hard to play sport in general at the next level, but I just feel like, New Mexico kids have a little bit of a different mentality than a lot of people think, and I just feel like, when something gets hard, we have a little bit of grit to us that people don't really see. And,
in that vein, Isaiah, Coach Gonzalez has talked about it. Rocky Long built this, a decade and a half ago using a lot of local kids, and Coach G has talked about the local kids. I mean, what does that sound like inside the team? I mean, we know what it sounds like outside, but obviously with all the local flavor and young local flavor on this team this year that led to some success, how does that resonate inside that locker room?
I mean, to be honest, you really couldn't tell if all the other guys were, from different states, because I mean, no one was treated differently. No one was ever, I mean, yeah, of course there'd be jokes saying, we're from the 505 or whatever, but I mean, it was really a brotherhood in the locker rooms, or just really the atmosphere. It was just a big brotherhood, and people took care of their own, and no matter where you were from, you didn't feel like an outcast.
Yeah, one last thing before we let you go. 6 weeks in Nevada, and I said when it all started, you guys could turn this into something really special. This will be the year you look back on and whatever. What good came out of that? And it feels like, Coach G said there was a lot of camaraderie. You got a lot closer as players and with the coaches. But moving forward, I mean, what kind of benefits do you think you take out of this as a program, having gone through what you went through 6 weeks on the road?
I mean, I think it made our program definitely mentally stronger. Obviously we didn't, go with all of our squat racks and all like that, but I felt like the biggest outtake from that was our mental aspect, just because, everyone was just like, I mean, we can't go back, so we might as well just make the most of this. And I felt like everyone knows that we can't take anything for granted anymore.
That's the truth. Well, QB5, you've done yourself proud. You've done your community proud. You've done your university proud. Keep it going, my friend. Appreciate you spending some time with us. Best of luck to you moving forward. Now, and congratulations on the success. Be well, and Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you.
Thank you, guys. Happy holidays.
Be well. Isaiah Chavez, just a grounded, humble, thankful. I mean, how do you not like that guy?
I don't know how you don't. It is what he's done as a true freshman is unbelievable on and off the field. How he handles himself. It's a great story.
What if I told you QB5 Sunday night, 8 o'clock, It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Is there something interfering with your happiness? BetterHelp wants you to start living a happy...
Corbalon wants to put it down. Here comes Scoochers. Brown, you can't leave him alone. Put it down.
Gershon in transition, 3-on-2. Gershon going to go all the way. Whoa, Morgan.
Has that ball stolen. Jeremy Segura.
Forward dribble, spin cycle, up and under move. What a pass. Wrap around pass.
Harris, Legate, the long bomb, 3 ball.
Oh, great steal by Quinteros, lays it up and scores.
A little jump step in the... And look out, here comes Agbayosi. Crawford set. That's blocked. Lansing says, get that out of here. Sister to sister, Marianne Lansing's going to go all the way. Turnaround. Ramos, pump fake, everyone bites. Ramos hits.
Jackson loses it. Jalen Bond back. LAU. Put it down. Dunkalicious. How about it?
Lovato driving. They're going to count it. Gallegos. Ooh, a little spin and a finish. Natalia Chavez, good spin. Takes a...
Here's Ramos. Nice jump stop to the...
Played with gambling a little bit. Oh, there's a...
Hill, little step, high window. And a... Got the second.
In the middle. Here we go. 3.9. It's Cooper's going to run with it. Cooper's going to swing it out to Lowry. Lowry.
Portillo couldn't get it off, and
And he goes
Clovis.
in.
It's waved off. He did not get it off in time. Portillo. Reverse layup. Gallegos spins. Window. Finishes.
There's a run coming from...
Lazy pass. Here comes Crawford. It might be showtime.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Years old, JJ, I'm not going to lie to you. If that mess happened to me, it would be hard for me to just stay as chill and of all the stuff he said in there, I'm going to tell you what stood out to me the most, because he talked about being ready and being prepared, and I love all that. And he talked about what it meant for local athletes, and I love that. You want to know what stood out to me the most? Was when that young man said it sucks for those other guys. When he mentioned the 4 quarterbacks in front of him who went down with various injuries, that he acknowledged, damn, it sucks. And that just shows me it's not all about me. Like it's because when you think about QB5, how are you going to get your shot? QB5 isn't winning a job in practice, right? QB5 isn't getting the job because the starting quarterback like Carson Wentz isn't. Well, that's then QB2's up. QB5's getting a chance because 4 guys in front of him go down, and for him to unsolicitedly acknowledge that it sucks for those guys, that that I got my chance and I wish them well, says to me more about that young man than almost anything else he said, and he said some really impressive things. So that's for me what stood out the most from that conversation.
It's always going to be something where any athlete understands having a chip on your shoulder and wanting to prove people wrong. And a walk-on who did not get a lot of Division I scholarship offers, he's going to have that mentality. So I'm going to go out there and show you. But it's also one where, as a true freshman, he wasn't coming in thinking, oh, I deserve to be, in the running. Like this, I think also, too, the way it happened in that manner, like you don't have a quarterback that's out there going, yeah, I told you from the beginning I should have been starter. No, it's like, oh, my goodness. I started like watching practice and maybe doing some scouting team stuff, maybe to the point of now I'm the first team quarterback. And you see that evolution. And I will say there's been seniors in college football. There's been professional athletes that are not as composed as that young man that we just talked to last segment. I
can't agree with you more. The one thing I forgot to ask him, and I really wanted to ask him, and it's going to bother me because I want the answer. How much the fact that he played last year, right? When a 5th string guy plays in high school and then sits and he does a redshirt year and then he doesn't play his freshman year and his sophomore year, and then gets called on in the junior year when they got to go to the bullpen and he hadn't played in 3 years. Hadn't played in game action, right? And you go, oh, look at that. Well, no wonder he's a 5th string guy. Well, he hadn't played in 3 years, 4 years, right? At that point, right? His redshirt year, freshman year, sophomore year, and then he gets called in a junior. So, if you'd have painted out a picture where Isaiah Chavez was going to play for the Lobos, you would have figured it'd be 4 years from now in some strange situation like this, right? You'd figure, well, he's going to sit his freshman year. He's not, or a redshirt year. He's not going to play his freshman year. Sophomore year, probably not going to play. Already worked his way up to number 3 as a junior, and they had to go to the bullpen in game 8, right? So he wouldn't have played in 4 years in game action. How much do you think the fact that he just played last year, and he's young, and so he might have developed more in the program over 4 years, but he played in game action a year ago as opposed to 4 years removed. I mean, and I meant to ask him that. Do you think that's a big deal?
I think it has to play a little bit of a factor. Right?
Yeah.
It is different, even, high school football to D1, just speed and talent is completely different. But it's to that point. It's not just controlled reps in practice or knowing you can't get hit because you're a quarterback on the practice field.
Yeah, that's high school game, well, you can argue to me that a college practice might be faster. He's not getting hit. Right? You don't hit the quarterback in practice, at least not much. The fact that he played in a game, and look, the mentality, if you've ever played at whatever level, I played at a low level, but whatever the level is, game day is different than practice day. And so I thought about it yesterday, about the fact that he played, as recently as 12 months ago in a game, as opposed to 3 or 4 years ago. I always wonder about that with quarterbacks who have to sit, right? Most players don't have to sit. Now guys will sit out a redshirt year and a freshman year, and so you get even a tackle, even a linebacker who sits out his redshirt year. I mean, it's been 2 or 3 years since they played in a football game, right? Imagine not doing something. Like JJ, imagine pretending, calling games or pretending you're doing a radio talk show and then coming back 3 years later, you're not going to be sharp right away, right? I mean, it's just not the same. And so, I don't know. I just think the fact that maybe it wasn't as foreign as it might have been if this plays out the way we all envisioned it playing out, that young man had a little sharpness to him. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's everything, the decision-making, the fact he didn't turn the football over, like that was, you start there. And controlled the football, and then he made big plays. And by the way, he showed that he has enough athleticism to be impactful at Division I level with some of the runs that he made.
So that's a great point. He hit the holes, hit him quickly. I told you, to me, there's a different speed on the options that he hit the holes. There's a different decisiveness that he hit the holes when he decided to keep the ball than the other quarterbacks I saw this year, even Tavaka. But he hit it with authority. Now, I don't know how, I said yesterday, I don't know how long you maintain this, but he did for 2 games, or a game and a half. But he initiates hits sometimes. He doesn't back. Like, how many times, and I know there's an answer on this, did he earn first-round yardage with yards after contact? And I'm going to tell you, it's more than 5 over that game and a half.
A couple times. Yeah. I think you start really dissecting things he did, third down plays, whether it was with his legs or he had a couple big throws on third down against Fresno State. There was one that we got to give a lot of credit to Patterson. I think it was like a third. I'll find the exact yardage on it, but it was third and long. Yeah, it came up a little short of the sticks, but he put his receiver in position to break one tackle, get a first down, 3rd and 6. Hit through a dart to Logan Green for 7 yards. Just things you don't expect out of a true freshman.
Yeah. All right. Got emails from you. What about Lobo volleyball? What about it, man? I'll read you the email, Harold. I'll get it for you. I'm not laughing at you, but it's just I'll get you there. I'll get you there as well. 505-246-0610. Danny Gazal's going to be with us on Thursday at 8 to talk about signing day, because JJ, I think there's 2 quarterbacks being signed in this class, and you add that to the pile of quarterbacks. It's going to be really interesting to see what QB5 does going forward. And again, QB5 is going to be the local fan favorite going into camp, right? People are going to want to see Isaiah Chavez when they open up next year against Sam Houston State. Is that what he said? Danny said yesterday, whoever it is. But they're bringing in some talent. Tavaka probably back, assuming. And again, do you think we see Tavaka again?
I don't know. That's the hardest thing to speculate on when it comes to a head injury. Like, it's talent-wise, I think Tavaka is, while the consistency hasn't been there, unfortunately, due to the injuries, talent-wise, he's a quarterback you want to have around, because how many quarterbacks did we just go through watching this Lobo football season? So it's what you have to do. You have to keep recruiting. You have to keep bringing in talent to the program, if they want to live up to winning 5, and that is, the 5th championship in this program's history. But just, it's the unknown, like what lingered so long. Like, Tavaka was, he's on the sidelines. We just heard the story. He was on the sidelines when Isaiah Chavez threw the touchdown pass to Bobby Cole. So he's been there, but there's, something that did not allow him to play football. And you start asking yourself, just as much as you want to play, and you never want to say you want to take away what could be his last opportunity to play competitive football, you just don't know how he is.
Yeah, I told you this earlier. This isn't his first concussion. I just worry about the young man, as a human being, as a man, as a person moving forward in his life. And again, I don't know anything. I don't know the depth of this. This one obviously lingered, and you worry about the young man's well-being. All right, I'll get you a bunch of your comments and emails. Got phone numbers 505-246-0610. We got to get into the Aggies situation with basketball. The Lobos play Our Lady of the Lake tonight in Houston. Yes.
See Patterson versus Patterson?
I did.
Go back to Rio Rancho.
No. Assuming they both get on the floor, right? One of them will, for sure. I'm sure Paul will get the other one in, so they both get on the floor. Clay should get in for New Mexico, and so you got a Rio Rancho flavor in Houston as the Lobos play Our Lady of the Lake over on News Radio KKOB. So want to hear from you. You can watch the show on ProView Networks, of course, ProViewNetworks.com, and our Facebook page, the OD in the AM. Hey, does your credit card pay you? Does your credit card pay you? If you've got the Independence credit card from Kirtland Federal Credit Union, you're getting 1.5% unlimited cash back with every single purchase. So when you buy a tank of gas, you get 1.5 back. Buying those holiday gifts, 1.5%. Morning coffee, 1.5%. There are no limits. Hey, we all got to pay for things. If you're not earning some of it back, you don't have the Independence credit card. Awesome rates, easy and fast approval. Get started today at kirtlandfcu.org/credit card. That's kirtlandfcu.org/credit card. Apply it today. Kirtland Federal Credit Union. They are more than military. They are for life. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is an equal housing lender federally insured by the NCUA.
Played over to Madrid. Plays it across the box off the dasher. It's settled. Shot up by Garcia. Trickles in. Goal.
Chavez blocked at the rim. And here's Dorian Lewis to Watson.
Shot on and just wide. Big deflection. Goal.
With this first field goal. Look at that. That's gorgeous.
Not a game you can go have 25 turnovers in and win.
Get that out of here, Watson says. Here comes Hodnett all the way. He's blocked in return. Dickey, did he get it off? He did, and he hit it. They're really Oliveras. Wild three, and it hit.
Another steal nearly by Hidon. It is a steal. Avalos ahead to Hidon. The two-hand hammer by Hidon. I knew he was going to put that one down.
ProView Networks tonight.
District matchup there.
Davidson took it away in transition. Might be time for a jam. Yes.
Oh!
Big Barton, watch him, coach. Watch the inbounder.
Duma Sanchez in the corner.
Back to Barton with 2.4 seconds left. Fires for the win.
And he got it!
It's good.
Oh my God!
On a last-second shot.
He did.
Oh
my God!
Bakes it in from 25 feet and watch the celebration right in front of us. What a shot by Barton. He was double-teamed and somehow found a way to get it in. Ramos to Gaxiola, high window for the win. It's good. It counts. Gaxiola with the game winner for a Driscoll Heritage.
got some protection. Deep ball, Erickson's open. Touchdown, Monarchs.
Second and 10. Smith looking, and he's going to fire over the middle, and he's got his guy, and it's another big play. Walking away for a touchdown, Tristan Altier.
They're going to hand it off to Chavez. Chavez breaking tackles, look out. Chavez up the sideline, stays in bounds. Touchdown, Volcanovic.
That replay,
I
just
got
get
you.
the measurement. I mean,
Smith's got a fire on first down, and he's on the outside. There's a lot of room for Brad Thomas. A move, and he's set free. Dance into the end zone. Touchdown. So it goes.
He'll run with it. Stumbling. Gets down into the end zone. And looking to throw it. And he throws it in the end zone. Caught!
First and 10 from the 11. And spin move for Smith. Push the B button. Dance into the end zone.
He'll throw it. Looking. Here comes the rush. Stepping up. Pavia now running around. Being chased. Looks across. Throws it up and wide open. Ball is caught. Touchdown. Jimmy Gaye. Chavez dropping, looking, stepping up. He's going to run. He's got a lot of green in front of him. To the end zone. Touchdown. Rio Rancho, Isaiah Chavez. Chavez set. He's going to run with it again and dives and...
It's Austin Smith, and to the outside, a lot of room. Look out, a foot race down the sideline. All the way on the first play from scrimmage, Chris. That's a touchdown.
Now, just announced the Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl, which was going to kick off bowl season this Saturday in Frisco, Texas, has been canceled due to, due to COVID protocols now in effect within SMU's football program. So SMU was going to play UTSA in the Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl. It has now been announced that that's canceled. UTSA has been moved, and they're going to play in the Serve Pro First Responders Bowl. That's in Dallas. That's in SMU Stadium, crazy enough. And they'll announce an opponent later on that. So that's the first time it's kind of hit the bowl business, which is... which is crazy, and I don't know why we would think it's I don't know why we would think it's the last one. Anyway, 246-0610 if you want to get in, 888-922-0610. JJ, the Aggies are not playing, so 2 more positive tests. Is that what we got out of New Mexico State's basketball program, and so they're not going, right?
Yeah, that's. So it's so challenging, especially with the contact tracing, and that's what we do see a lot when it comes to these football games this season. A big reason why there's been so many postponements and cancellations just due to player availability, and it's going to hit you even harder on a basketball team. In that case, when you have maybe 15 bodies available, frustrating. I know that they're wondering, with the decisions that they made. You always, how did it get in? What happened? It's here. Just have to deal with it. I think that Chris Jans, from the get-go, has been handling this very well, presenting the right message. Because especially when it comes to college football, there's been a lot of coaches that just sound so bad during this time. But it's one that, yes, it stinks, but you deal with it. Keep your heads up. Keep the focus on moving forward. Positivity, healthy players, hopefully moving forward. And then get to that WAC season, because unfortunately that's kind of what it is for all these teams right now in this state, is just finding a way to make it to conference play where all right, we have a guaranteed stretch of games fingers crossed, in Mountain West or WAC play.
All right, let me get you some of your comments that have come in on all of these things. But I'm with you on Chris and New Mexico State. It's such a bummer because they had kind of a cool schedule lined up to play Santa Clara, Cal Poly, and then the Arizona game, which UTEP stepped in and played them competitively. It was a bummer because it's games that on a regular year, on any year, you want to see them play, right? They'd found a way to put together, after Arizona Christian and Benedictine Mesa, they'd found some nice games. Santa Clara's a nice game. Arizona's a great game. And they weren't able to pull those off because of the testing. All right, these emails come in, Jeff at 610knml.com or JJ at 610knml.com. And JJ, a couple of these came in yesterday. I didn't get to them. It is from Tellis. He says, whoa, Jeffrey, QB5, whoa. Remember how good Sharon Jones looked against UNLV putting up 50? Well, then other clubs got film and were able to adjust. It was a different story. Fresno State had very little to go on from the series and a half Chavez played against Wyoming. The more Isaiah plays, the bigger the scouting report gets on him. All right. And you got to believe he gets better. Yeah, that's how it is. I mean, tell us, okay. All that's right. And so this is the theory. Well, here's the rookie pitcher just up from single A Midland, and let's see what the 19-year-old has. And he comes out in this first time through the lineup. They've never seen him before. He's got a scouting report on the batters. They've got nothing on him, and he goes through it. That's that concept, and I get it. And then the second, third time through, they beat the hell out of him. Okay, maybe that's right. Let's see. Nobody's crowned this guy a Heisman Trophy winner yet. What I'm telling you is what he did is go in there and he's QB5, man. How many reps did he get? How many reps do you think QB5 gets in camp?
None.
Scout team reps?
Yeah. And I think
honestly,
Connor Janal was the scout team quarterback for a while. And then just, all right, maybe we need a more athletic guy back there. Isaiah, you can get a few snaps. You know what? Bryson Carroll, we're playing an option team. Go run a few scout team reps for us. Yeah, it's not a lot, and it's about the moment. It's about what this program did the last 2 weeks. There's a reason everyone was questioning even going into Fresno State. Like, yeah, this is nice, but and Isaiah knows that. He told us that. He said there's always going to be someone more talented or someone that thinks they can work harder than me. So he's going in the off season focused on getting better. He just played 2 games as a true freshman. And I'm with you. You're not crowning it, but we're absolutely going to embrace the story of 2 improbable victories for this football team.
Enjoy it. I mean, and maybe, for people who just love to poke fun at level athletics, they're struggling with this, and they've got to find, I'm not telling you Tellis is or is not one of those people, but there are those people. And you've got to find the yeah, but moment in this. Okay, whatever makes you happy. But if you're a fan, there is no yeah, but. This is yeah, and. But if you're one of the cynics and loves to just find everything that's wrong with Lobo athletics and you need your yeah, but, go knock yourself out. But this is a good story. Terry says, good weekend for the Lobos. Nice win for the football team and glad when local kids can contribute. Way to go, QB5. Basketball, young Sheldon, the Lobos years. Coach Weir is very smart, but still looks like he's 12 in that sweater. Gets off the shelf with a nice win. I know it's not easy trying to find games, but when I heard they were playing Lady of the Lake on Tuesday, I wondered if they could play on Golden Pond next. Thought if any coach could figure out the current craziness in the world, it would be Weir. That's from Terry. Just got a text from Ralph in San Diego. Asked if Our Lady of the Lake is a real school. I'm sure they are, just like St. Catherine's, who San Diego State played. I mean, stop it. Like, everybody's just trying to find a game, man. Go out. I mean, who's St. Catherine's? Any different than Our Lady of the Lake? Come on.
Is there a school within driving distance of where we're at? They wanted to kind of have that 48-hour window, what conference play is going to be like with these 2-game series, and they found an available opponent.
Yeah, St. Katie's. He said St. Katie's won 20 games last year against the Encinitas 6-foot and under league. See, I mean, that's my point. Go play who you got to play, man. League play will start next week, and you can go take your shot at Boise State. Let them go run a couple of games up and down the floor. 505-246-0610. I got more for you here. I want to get into the Lobos against Our Lady of the Lake. I'm sorry. It's not just as easy as saying Boise State. It's the opening drive.
Duchess of the Creek was unavailable.
Well, they're busy. They're playing somebody else's Duchess of the Lake or something. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Staples helps you save big on ink and toner. Right now, get 30% back in Staples Rewards when you spend.
At the 20, the 10, the 5. What an incredible run.
Ramos wants another.
Opportunity here. Martinez shoots, he scores. Got into it. Had some nice looks at the rim. Win. Inside. They're not going to miss this one. Two-hand hammer for Murillo. Ball's played up. Rodriguez with it. Gonna settle. Looks to the inside. Goes to the far side push. Shot on aim. Goal deflected in. No.
Dorian's gonna go all the way. It was blocked by the rim. Get it out, says Kobe Wade. Ramos, got it. Look out. Ramos, can he chase it down? It was a freebie. Saved it. And then stolen. And somehow Hasbury's got it back. Handoff. Watson.
Stripped. Dalion stripped him. Come Highland the other way. Win up top to the big goal. Here he comes.
For the lead. Got it. What a great game plan. Look at this.
Agbayosi throws it down.
Ramos, rise and fire. He's fouled.
You know, he used to coach for Del Norte. And
Here's Voss all the way with the finish. He'll get the. Behind the back of the dribble. Tries to go up with the right hand. He changed hands in midair. And hotting it. Sent it away. Wynn doing a really good job denying Chavez. DC hasn't got the ball. Oh, Yeku. Oh. Working against Watson. Oh, look at the spin move.
Ball's loose. DJ Bustos brings it up. Barnes Tompkins, alley-oop. How about it? That was redunculous.
Turnover. Cable to the big fella. Might try to jam one home.
Brought to you by Quan's Auto Care Collision and Repair. 95.9 FM and AM 610.
Opening drive karma, JJ. I mean, Isaiah Chavez, Mountain West Player of the Week. You get guys come on, get awards. Doc Holliday was on with us. When was Doc on with us? After the Marshall, he's the head football coach at Marshall. Yeah, it was after the 50-year anniversary of the plane crash and the emotional. It was November 13th. How do you know that, dude?
I just remember. I just remember it because I'm pretty
sure. In a redshirt season podcast, college football podcast, Mike and I do. That's been one of his teams throughout the entire season was Marshall, so he's been locked in.
Right. So was November 13th the game date or the day that he was on with us?
I believe that was the game date. So
he was on with us the 15th.
2 days later, so 15th, so exactly a month ago.
All right. Doc Holliday was named the AFCA Region 4 Coach of the Year today. He's the all-time leader in games coached and wins over FBS programs at Marshall. So the college football, the American Football Coaches Association, FBS Region 4 Coach of the Year, and he's up for National Coach of the Year. Who's National Coach of the Year in college football, JJ? Is it the guy? I mean, the guy at Coastal's done a hell of a job. Hugh Freeze has done a hell of a job. Who's Cincinnati's coach?
That one guy from Ohio State.
Okay. I mean, is it one of those guys, or is it Nick Saban? Is it? Why am I forgetting Notre Dame?
Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly. If Brian Kelly beats Clemson twice, is he Coach of the Year?
He'll probably win it.
Okay. It's got to be one of those guys. 42-12, they beat Middle Tennessee. Michael.
Well, they had to bounce back. Grant Wells threw 5 interceptions the week before. They lost to Rice.
Yeah, but that was the day November 13th.
I was off by a day, November 14th. My apologies.
Look at you.
Apologies.
What do they go? Are they going to the Myrtle Beach Bowl? Is that what I saw? The first ever Myrtle Beach Bowl? I think they're going to one of them. Boca Raton. They're going to Boca Raton. But yeah, he's up for Coach of the Year. He's done a hell of a job. Did you see the Pac-12 situation? So Washington won the Pac-12 North. And they've got a COVID outbreak. And they've got a Pac-12 championship game that needs to be played. There's a lot of money, television money, sponsorship money. Got to play a title game. And so instead of making USC their champion, and I don't even know what the right thing to do is here. You know, I've gone back and forth on the Pac-12. The Pac-12 feels to me so irrelevant this year because not only do they get such a late start as opposed to the other power conferences, although not later than the Big Ten, they haven't had a super team, although USC has gone undefeated and game after game after game. Did you say another comeback by SC to beat UCLA this weekend? Like another, and so I don't know if that means, you got to look at their record and say, well, they're undefeated. Yeah, but they barely got it by Arizona. They barely got by Arizona State. But are they gutty? Are they gritty? Is Keaton Slovis just a winner down at crunch time? Like, I don't know what to make of them. And then they're going to play in a conference championship game, and Oregon is going to replace Washington, the second place team in the North, because Washington can't play. It just feels like everything's just been so discombobulated. And then 4 of their bowl games canceled: the Sun Bowl, the LA Bowl, the Holiday Bowl, and the Red Box Bowl, all canceled. So they had like I don't know what they're going to look like in the postseason. It just the Pac-12 things feels more disjointed than everything else even.
Well, I would say that it's fair. Why is Ohio State so much further ahead of USC in that conversation? I think it's because of how some of these games have ended. Close game to Arizona, and we just saw the fire their coach after not winning a game. Coming back against UCLA, I think in this conversation of just who's worthy, I think they should probably be closer than, say, Texas A&M. But
SC should be.
Yes, USC should be. Of just, all right, kind of the teams, like who's going to be available. That's why we see Iowa State in that position. Just kind of like, all right, we have to rank someone who could potentially make sense if we had to spin it crazy scenario. It's like, what happens if Florida wins? So then you take who are you dropping?
Well,
Florida wins, Clemson wins this weekend.
Well, so you don't have to put the SEC champion in. Now, I think they would be inclined to. It would be a 2-loss SEC champion. I think Alabama would still get in. And then if Clemson wins, so you're saying it would be Clemson, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Florida, and Alabama for 4 spots, right? Is that what you're telling me?
Mm-hmm.
And SC sitting there undefeated going, we're an undefeated power conference champion, and you're letting in a 2-loss conference champion and a 1-loss non-champion. I mean, that's the scenario we're looking at, right?
Yes.
Because absolutely Notre Dame or Clemson in that situation, one of them, then Notre Dame would be a 1-loss non-conference champion who played in a conference this year. And Florida would, I'm with you. I got SC over Florida. SC's undefeated if they win a power conference. Well, they played the second-place team. They barely got by Arizona. Okay, but they got by Arizona. Florida just lost. Florida lost to an LSU team that's not good. I mean, LSU was 3-5 and beat Florida. That's to me, that eliminates Florida, even if they win the SEC. Like, I think Alabama's in. You think I'm wrong?
Yeah. I think they're in regardless. But lost to Florida at this point in time, because Texas A&M's not going to jump them. Iowa State's not going to jump them. We know that the group of 5 teams are just there to fill a New Year's Six bowl.
See, I'd have Cincinnati and SC knocking on the door. And I guess I would give Cincinnati the nod over SC right now because of the more games, because of more. And more impressive in the eye test and the way they've been doing it. But I don't. This is the whole SC out of sight, out of mind. West Coast, you're not winning by enough. You're not pretty enough. Yeah, but we're winning. Like we're what are they? 5-0, 6-0, whatever the number is.
Because I think Ohio State's a good football team. But
I do too.
We're supposed to just say, all right, in even a weird year, let's look at the resumes. Are they that much different than USC?
Yeah, who'd they beat? I mean, they beat Indiana, right? Penn State's not good this year. Michigan's not good this year. So who did they beat? I think SC's getting the shaft a little bit. And I certainly think Cincinnati's getting the shaft. And we can have a conversation about Coastal also if you want, who's undefeated and beaten 2 power conference teams. USC is 5-0. They're going to play a 3-2 Oregon for the Pac-12 championship. 505-246-0610. Keep it coming. I want to hear your thoughts. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Call it as Javi's looking, and he's got a guy wide open, and it's Gay, and he's going to walk into the end zone. But he did a good job with it. First and goal, it's Chavez to the middle, and Chavez stops.
And Stevens in motion. On the handoff to Mitchell. Look out! Oh, see you later. Take it to the house. Fly. Cardinals fly. To the other side. Provides some protection. And off to Webskowski again. Look out. See you later. Good night. Touchdown. Webskowski. Day. He's going to fire to the end zone. Open man! Touchdown! Wildcat! Not a defender inside.
A little bit.
Webskowski on the sideline! Hasta mañana! He's off to the races! Touchdown! Clovis!
Albuquerque this afternoon.
34-24. Late in the third. How about this run? Nice play. Dickerman, he's still on his feet. Touchdown, Wolverine.
Exactly what they want to get yards.
He's going to go for it. He's got a guy towards the end zone. It's Krebs. Touchdown. What a play.
And long here for the Storm. Handoff to, we're going to fake the handoff, excuse me. Davidson on the deep ball. He's got some space, and it's caught. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Storm. Wow. Santa Maria.
So they'll send one deep and returnable at the 2. Usually Volcano do either a reverse or a fake reverse, and here it is a reverse. And a move to the outside. There is a lane. Look out! Shot out of a cannon. Rodriguez is going to take it all the way.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burrito.
Luke Fickell, by the way, is the Cincinnati coach. Dr. Jim made sure I knew that. Luke Fickell, Perry Eliano, the former UNM cornerback, that's defensive back, cornerback coaches on that staff, Perry Eliano. But Luke Fickell should be up for Coach of the Year. Absolutely, it's Cincinnati. What's good, y'all? Merry whatever day it is. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff Siembieda. JJ Buck. Micah produces for us on the radio side down at Radio Ranch at downtown. And on the video side, it's Alden and Jay Pohl. You can watch the show at ProViewNetworks.com. Talking about Coach of the Year in college football and really kind of what's going to happen. So you could have your chaos, and those of you who love rooting for the chaos in the college football playoff, you can have that. If Cincinnati wins and stays undefeated, although I don't know that they're going to be part of it. Texas A&M sitting right outside looking in. If Florida beats Alabama in the SEC championship game, assuming Ohio State wins, what if Ohio State loses, JJ? Then the Big Ten's out? They lose to Northwestern. The Big Ten's out.
If Ohio State loses to Northwestern, they are not getting in the college football playoff.
So, okay, I think that's right.
But then you say,
right.
Is it A&M? Are they better than Ohio State because they happen to beat Florida? Like,
so
the resumes are so weird. You really do start looking at 1 or 2 games. Like, what is a marquee game, and what was the outcome of that?
So, if A&M gets in. What if Florida wins? So Florida beats Alabama. You go Florida, A&M, and Alabama? And Clemson, or if Notre Dame beats Clemson. So it's going to be 3 SEC teams in Notre Dame? If Ohio State loses?
It kind of feels like my Alabama is in regardless.
I feel that way too.
Even if Florida wins, it's like, cool, good job, but we're still putting Alabama in the playoff.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. I'm looking for... So there's no way Cincinnati can jump A&M. If Cincinnati wins the American Championship, A&M's done. Cincinnati can't jump them?
No.
Because let me give you another scenario.
All these teams could have like 8 losses, and Cincinnati and Coastal Carolina wouldn't get near the college football playoff.
All right. Let me give you the doomsday scenario. Ohio State loses, USC loses, although I don't think USC matters. Notre Dame beats Clemson, so Clemson's got 2 losses. Florida beats Alabama. Well, what's more of an elimination? I think Alabama beating Florida, right? So Alabama beats Florida. So Florida's done. So all you got for sure, if Ohio State loses and Clemson loses and Florida loses, you have Alabama in and Notre Dame in. Who are the other 2 teams?
And that's one that I don't know how you judge. Like, it's hard to say a 1-loss team gets in because he didn't play in a conference title game, but do you benefit because you didn't have that extra loss? You didn't win your division and or get into conference title game? And then even how do they view a 2-loss Big 12 champ? because I think that's why they moved Iowa State to where they did, to just say, hey, we're keeping them alive in this conversation for one of those crazy what if scenarios, just to say there is a power conference champion available. But then
I guess we're forgetting them.
Vaults. I think USC is probably sitting in that same boat. Like, you don't think they're playoff teams, but if the unthinkable happens and there is a Florida winning, but I don't think that drops out Alabama, does Florida beating Alabama then vault Texas A&M back into the conversation because they have that one win?
Yeah.
Connecting all these dots.
Right. So Texas A&M sitting at 5. They're not playing in a conference championship game, but could they get in? SC is sitting at 13th. They're 5-0. They are behind a 2-loss Oklahoma, a 2-loss Florida, a 2-loss Georgia, a 2-loss Iowa State. USC is potentially going to win a power conference and go undefeated, and maybe not even finish in the top 10 in the CFP. How do you explain that to me? Well, they didn't win by much, Jeff. I mean, they barely beat Arizona. They barely scraped by Arizona State. They barely beat a UCLA, but they won. I mean, isn't winning what we're supposed to do here? They won. Florida lost twice. They lost to a 3-5 LSU team. Like, how does losing to a 3-5 LSU team keep you above an undefeated Pac-12 champion for your second loss? Makes no sense to me. How is Oklahoma, who lost twice, Iowa State, who lost twice, above a potential undefeated Pac-12 champion? Now, look, the Pac-12's done a lot to themselves now. I mean, they've done a lot of this to themselves. But SC's still sitting out there undefeated. They're a power conference, and they're a brand, by the way. This is the other piece that just kind of stuns me. It's not Oregon State. I mean, SC's the biggest brand in that league, right?
Yeah.
So how are they? Is it simply because their wins were not impressive enough? Is that why?
Got to believe that's one of the factors.
It's the only factor. How is that other? Like, to your point, how else is it different than Ohio State?
And this is too where the college football playoff rankings come out at a later date, but it's still the sense of, well, this team was good because we thought they were preseason, and you get that benefit.
Okay, cute, and that's fine. But that's what, to your point, this is supposed to eliminate. That's why there is no preseason CFP standings.
Which is why I need an 8-team college football playoff. And then
they still wouldn't be in, bro. Well, I guess they would as a conference champion. They would,
yeah,
they would as a conference champion. Yeah. So you'd have the Iowa State Oklahoma winner.
Like, there's always going to be someone on the outside, whether it's 8, 16, 64.
That's right, 68. Yeah.
But you streamline said process, going, all right, this is the goal, right? If we want to put emphasis on these power conferences, like it's always done, there's a reason they're better than everyone in these situations. You win your conference, you get in. We'll have a debate about 2 wild cards, and guess what? We'll throw a bone to a group of 5 team that gets to go in there, play the 1 seed.
So in that scenario, Coastal would run the table this year and be left out. Coastal Carolina would have beat BYU. They would have beaten. Did they beat NC State or something? They beat Virginia Tech. Who'd they beat?
Who was Coastal's?
I just had it up. I'll tell you. But here, Coastal beat Appalachian State, which was a big win for them. They beat Kansas, which, oh, well, that doesn't count. That's not a good enough Power 5 school. Well, we scheduled them, we beat them.
They beat Louisiana, who beat Iowa State.
They did beat Louisiana in overtime. They beat Kansas. They beat BYU. They beat Appalachian State. Troy almost got them, but they beat Troy. I mean, they're a Sun Belt school, but it's not like they're running. But the bottom line is the BYU win was impressive. What more do you want them to do? It's like Cincinnati. What more do you want them to do? This is, and I guess on the same token, what more do you want freaking USC to do? And I guess the answer is they're being penalized. And look, bottom line is, I do believe that especially the SEC, ACC, and the Big 12 are pissed off at the Pac-12 for some reason even more than the Big 12 because the Big 12, or I'm sorry, more than the Big 10 because the Big 10's got Ohio State for stopping, being the first ones to stop. I guess the Big 10 was the first one to shut down. They shut down, started later. They didn't start till November. And I mean, the whole, we're not going to play the rest of the calendar year, that whole thing. I think the ACC, SEC, and Big 12 are getting the benefit of the doubt for playing a schedule. And I will tell you this. I don't think I have a problem with it. The fact that they played the games, that they stuck it out, that they went out and did it, and I get it. There's a pandemic, and there's a big controversy on this, and a lot of people saying they shouldn't have played. Why did they play? Pac-12 did it the right way. I don't know. Did they? I think there's something to be said for actually getting out there and playing as many as they can, at least in this scenario when you're trying to crown who's the best.
And that is why USC is not close in. Then Ohio State.
I think that's right.
Be close. I don't think that should apply to this season. I really don't. And I get the politicking of it and standing for your conference, head coaches speaking out, but I also think it just, a lot of these guys sound so bad during this time, especially Dabo Swinney. Like, I'm so done with Dabo Swinney. You're a good coach, you can recruit. But before the season started, he's like, I don't know if we should worry about how many games you play because it's just the unknown. Well, you go out there, you play 9 games, and all of a sudden he's like, whoa, we did it. So I'm going to go back on those comments. Like, it puts these coaches in a bad spot because they have to, stand for their team and conference, obviously, when it comes to a college football playoff. It just sounds so terrible. It's like, yeah, we can always look back and say, well, you should have started, but there were still a lot of unknowns at that time. And look, still, that we're saying, oh, you played 9 games, but look around some of these conferences and how many games you did lose overall. So there wasn't a perfect way to do it. You were able to do at least most of it. And this year is just going to be so odd. It just kind of deal with it.
I'm looking at the College Football Playoff Committee, and I guess I was expecting to validate my point that it was going to be made up of mainly people from those 5 conferences who played. But in fact, there's a lot of there's Gary Bart as the chair. He's the AD at Iowa. They didn't, Big 10, they didn't start. Paula Boyvin, who's a professor at Arizona State, Pac-12. Tom Berman, the athletic director up at Wyoming. They didn't start the season on time. Joe Castiglione, who's at Oklahoma, they did. Rick George, another Pac-12 guy from Colorado, they didn't. So 4 of those first 5 are from conferences that didn't get started. And Ronnie Lott, who's from USC. So it's not as swayed as I thought. Then there's Arkansas State and Army and Florida and Georgia Tech and A&M and Penn State. I guess I thought the makeup would lean towards, well, that's why, Jeff. That's why they're not playing. But it's not. And that kind of now moves me to the whole, then why SC is so far back. You got a lot of Pac-12 representation. 3 people, Colorado, Arizona State, and USC. And I just, that one befuddles me a little bit. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. We come back. Have you found out anything about Our Lady of the Lake yet? Micah, you got a scouting report? Lobos play Our Lady of the Lake tonight. Are they the Lakers? The Crusaders? Do you know what they are? Alden, I heard you ask what their nickname is. You do? All right, can you tell me when we get back?
Yeah.
Because I'm curious. All right, holiday season's here, fellas. Time to take care of everybody. Everything, everyone. Take care of yourself, too. How you feeling, guys? Could be better, right? You dealing with lack of energy, low T, erectile dysfunction? I strongly suggest, then, you call Numel. Right here in Albuquerque, Numel's helping thousands of men all over the country take care of themselves and feel better. So pick up the phone and call them at 505-652-1688 or visit Numel, NUMALE.com. Taking care of yourself, feeling better is easy. The process is comfortable from the phone call through the treatment, and the results are real. Numel can help you with ED, depression, even hair loss. Start the process by calling 505-652-1688. Men age? These things are natural. It's nothing to be ashamed of. The beauty of Numel is you can battle nature. You can feel like you again, and that is the perfect gift. Do something special for yourself, fellas. Call Numel and feel better. 505-652-1688 or visit Numel.com.
There's only one
Don't
road.
sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
I'll just get a little closer.
Oh, instead it's a gorgeous pass.
Here's what he'll
just shoot it.
He's going to go all the way.
He's gonna fire at the buzzer and he hits.
Great pass, Hadbury, and thank you very much.
Heavyweight tie in the district. Inside, fly, Eagles.
Chavez uses some athleticism. And then Morris down low, able to finish. You called it, Steve, in 10 seconds. And look at this, stripped, stolen Watson. Christian Lucero beats the buzzer. Here's Ian Chavez, the sharpshooter. Got it.
Couldn't have said that any better. He answered the question. He
On
got
a
another
steal
one.
at the buzzer. Back to back for Chavez.
To the paint. Medina from the volleyball lines. Medina wants another one from deep. Oh, he wants 10. Give him 10.
Lewis finds Watson. He's going to finish. One-handed slam. Vista, but just all the different scenarios we could see potentially play out ahead of the state tournament.
Oh! Ho, ho, ho. Moreno extra pass, and Watson. Out with it, Gallegos, and he's gonna run all the way. Window, yes! Able to get out of it. How did he find Battle? It's to Cunningham, and it...
I mean, Ramos' hand. And
Ramos puts it up, beats the buzzer!
boy, Jefferson wide open.
Jefferson to Daraji! Into Watson with the jam!
Another steal by Davina Lovato, and here comes Agbaiosi. Lob, two-hand hammer. You knew that was coming. Devils is all over the place. Neck out the lob, tagged by Osi, the one-hand hammer.
Put up. And a drive from Parham.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
creates space. He gives it off to Rivas for the three, and he buries it.
Coming in soon. Double pick set for Avalos. Goes to the right. Avalos puts it up high. Window. Scores it as foul. Right here by Lewis all the way, coast to coast, and finish. What a...
Around the screen, against White, step back, it's blocked! JB with the block!
In transition, ahead to hit on for the two-hand hammer.
Minutes to go. They've got a shot. They have a chance, and it's put up, and it's good. What a three that is by Jalen.
Hidon puts it up.
Rebound Cowboys. Right side David Hall. Thank you very much.
Says Lobo Hobo. Actually, it's Lady of the Lakes, but I see what he did there. He says, Jeff, I have no problem with Lobo basketball participating in what is nothing but a glorified practice, but do we really need it broadcast on the big stick? Do we really need to hear the current announcer go, oh my, as Lobo basketball blues these patsies out of the built? It's from Lobo Hobo. And it was
because some of us have jobs to do, Lobo Hobo.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to listen. This is one of those things where it doesn't affect you. You really don't, if you don't have to. No. You got so much to do on a Tuesday night. I mean, you get on Netflix and watch Cobra Kai, for crying out loud. Cobra Kai rules. If you haven't watched it yet, go catch up on some Cobra Kai. Right? But I mean, you don't have to. It's one of those things. What does it bother you? Oh my! McQuash Malawash just went over that. Okay. By the way, Lady of the Lakes, their nickname is what?
Our Lady of the Lake. They are.
It's one lake? It's only one lake? Our Lady of the Lake. Okay. Sorry.
Well, Texas is known for their lakes.
Yeah, that's right.
They do have a lot of them. The Saints.
Of course.
Come marching in.
All right. Oh, when the Saints. All right, Jeffrey, good morning. You are on the Quan's Auto Care hotline. Good day, sir.
Good day. By the way, the Los Angeles Lakers get their name because they were originally in Minnesota.
Minneapolis, yeah.
Their moniker is Land of 10,000 Lakes, the Minnesota Lakers.
That's right. That's why the Dodgers are. That's why the Dodgers were trolley Dodgers in Brooklyn. Yeah. See.
Yeah, because people would dodge each other, boarding the subways and the trains. They would dodge each other. At any rate, I digress. Jeff, I do feel the frustration regarding that 14 playoff with college football because it's extremely arbitrary. But I remember I called before the season started, and I said I think the number one factor as to how this arbitrariness really reveals itself is the anointment prior to the season as to where you are in the hierarchy of teams. Take Ohio State. I think they were a number 2. They were anointed as number 2 before the season started. So unless a number of things happen, they're not going to deviate away from that 4-spot, 5-spot. Coupled with the second most important criteria, I think, is the brand of the team. And I think third is impressiveness of wins. So look at USC. I think USC is probably as good or possibly better than Ohio State. The problem with USC, they have the brand. They did not win impressively, but I think the thing that is most damaging to them is they were a preseason number 16 team. So a lot of things too many things have to happen above them in terms of the hierarchy of anointment for them to be in that, conversation.
Then explain Iowa State to me. Then explain me Iowa State. No brand, 2 losses.
I think it's too many. I think they beat Oklahoma, and Oklahoma had been anointed as number 5, I think, before the season. So that criteria of they beat a top 5 or 6 team really escalated Iowa State. But I just think of all the criteria, besides brand, winning impressively, I think the unspoken most important factor is where are teams anointed before the season starts.
Yeah, there's a lot to it, and that's why the CFP doesn't put out their standings until October in a typical year. Their intent is to avoid that, but I don't know that they do.
But remember, you're a TV guy. A lot of it is Ohio State's number 3, Oklahoma's number 5. Our first 4 games of the year, we've got Ohio State versus whatever. Because they want eyeballs on TV sets because brands sell. So Ohio State is gonna grab. It's going to attract more eyeballs than Iowa State. I promise you that. Maybe not a lot, but a lot more than otherwise. So the committee doesn't want Iowa State in the playoff. I mean, no one's going to say that out loud, but it's always about eyeballs, money, selling real estate. Everybody knows that. No one's going to say this out loud, but nobody wants Iowa State, at least the powers that be on the committee, in the playoff. They want Ohio State. They want those brand names. That's why that other team doesn't get recognized. Cincinnati. Teams like that, because yes, they'll throw them a few crumbs, but the powers that be don't want Cincinnati and Iowa State in the Final Four. That's why Notre Dame gets so much recognition. Yes, they're good. Yeah, Alabama's going to lose perhaps to Florida. They'll still be in the Final Four because they have the brand. They get the eyeballs. Nobody ever talks about that, but it's always follow the money.
People talk about it. All right.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Lobo Hobo, by the way, came in and said, why do I care, JJ? If 770 carries the game, Jeff, why do I care? Because they're preempting Jeffrey Candelaria as he fills in for Brandon Vogt this week. That's why I care. Okay, there was your dose of Jeffrey. See? You can get it right here, and you can get Our Lady of the Lakes Saints, or Lake Saints, one lake. Sean, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. What's up, Sean?
Good morning, gentlemen. How's it going?
I think it's all right. How you doing?
Man, that was a great game last night. As a football fan, you have to just watch in amazement at just the display that happened. But as a Jets fan, you're like, wow, there's 2 quarterbacks from that draft class, along with one we see twice a year. It's way better than Sam Darnold.
Yes.
But didn't Jackson look a couple pounds lighter? He seemed lighter on his feet when he came back.
Yeah, it's amazing what getting rid of those cramps will do for you.
Dude, any player that runs the locker room with cramp
and then runs back out a few minutes later.
In that moment, do you leave the field for any reason? You're playing the Browns. You're outplaying the Browns. It's a rivalry game. There's no reason you should leave the field for cramps.
For cramps. Yes. Yep, good for him, man. He took care of his cramps. By the way, it's a great book. Everybody poops.
Everybody poops.
That's the truth.
I'd like to apologize, gentlemen. I understand I've been speaking over you. With the delay, it's a little hard to tell sometimes. But personally, I've found out why the delay exists. I'd like to thank you both for keeping us happy for what's been a tremendously awful year for Jets fans. I don't know if there's any other Jets fans in the state, but for the few of us that may exist, we appreciate you guys talking about the Jets more than any other outlet ever has.
Ever, yeah. I don't know if that's good or bad. All right, Sean, be well. Thanks.
Appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
All right, keep them coming. I got all kinds of emails for Our Lady of the Lake Saints. You got the scouting report?
Let's go. Let's get the details of the Red River Athletic Conference.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Contender? Maybe. Who knows? We'll find out.
That's next. The opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Mahomes with the snap.
Hey, I got to call the boss.
Here come the Cowboys. Domina Lovato lays it up. Missed it. Hey, how about it? Dunk you, Lusses. Thank you very much, Raquan Mitchell. Clock at 6. They get it. Barnes Tompkins fires. Yes! Pass up Card. This for the win. Blocked by DJ Bustos. Cowboys win. Cowboys win.
second field goal. He's got 4 points. Watson, though, goes all the way.
Hit the deck, I should say. Cordova tried to throw it off Romero. A 3 for
Set out to Jutapia. Nice move behind his back. It's a good.
Here's Ramos, step back, high arcing, twine.
Well, he needed to get his legs back under him.
Ooh, a little kick.
They leave it one more time to Hammer. Up top! Yes! And the finish for Akbayosi. Saved into the hands of Riak, ahead of the pack to Davina Lovato. Up high, down hard for Akbayosi. Out of the corner, Casals, the 3-0, Katenge! Let me clean up the mess! He dropped out of the rafters for that one, Steve.
Dorian over. Did he get in?
Yeah, they got in. He got in.
Touchdown, Dorian Lewis.
Seconds to play. Benavides looking, still looking up the middle. It's intercepted. It's picked off by Freddie Anaya, and Roswell's season will end perfect.
Second quarter, 2nd and 4 for Socorro at the whole 44-yard line. McDaniel trying, good block by Hicks. First down and more, 30, 25, 20. McDaniel might be gone. Touchdown.
Wow.
Touchdown for Michael McDaniel.
It's 40 seconds this year. It's not like 25 like it used to be.
He laterals it back. What a play by Hightower. Pitch.
Looked like somebody moved a little bit early. Hicks, the play fake double move. He's got his receiver wide open. Caught. One man to beat. Touchdown. Touchdown to number 17, Nathaniel.
Third and 6. Big defensive play coming up here. Little trickery to Reese. See you later. Touchdown. They went for the deep ball to Reese.
To the right, single receiver split to the left. Play fake, head up the middle, got some room. 50, 45, 40, has one man to beat. 30, 25, 10, 5, touchdown. Touchdown, Hope.
Wow.
On a
Option again, he'll keep it. Now he'll pitch it. Comes out to the 30, 25, 20, up the sideline. Still inbounds, into the end zone. Let's see.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Portel.
All right, educate me. Lobos and Our Lady of the Lakes, the Saints, out of the Red River Athletic Conference tonight over on News Radio KKLB. That's basketball. Tell me a little bit about the Red River Athletic Conference contending Saints. What do you know? You're looking at me like I'm nuts.
I thought you asked Micah.
Oh, I don't know. I thought one of you were like you had all that info. You told me that they might contend. Micah, you got the scouting report ready? Don't look at me like that. It's radio.
It's radio. I thought you were asking JJ.
All right.
They were playing tonight. They were playing a basketball game against a team on a basketball court.
You know what I will say, Jeff?
No, I don't.
3 days ago, they beat Texas State, a D1 opponent, for their first D1 win since 2010, who was also Texas State.
Is that right? Why is Texas State so bad? They shouldn't be that bad.
Texas
honestly.
State, keep playing that game.
All right, so the Saints are 1-1. They had a bunch of games. Dang, they had a lot of games postponed. They lost to Incarnate Word 84-71, and then did beat Texas State in San Marcos. That's a true road game against the Sun Belt team, 61-58. That was on the 12th. What's today? The 15th. So they got UNM coming up. I mean, they're playing. They have a UTSA on the schedule. They're playing Texas A&M Corpus Christi. And then they'll get into league play. But they had, God, look at all their COVID postponements. They're going to play Loyola. I don't know which one Loyola. But they had like 5 games postponed. They were supposed to play Rice. That was postponed. And they're going to play UTRGV out of the WAC. That was postponed. Like all these games that they didn't play. So 1-1 are the Saints. They play in a league that it's Texas College, Wiley College, A&M Texarkana, what is Houston Tilliston University? Wow, I'm learning a lot about the Paul Quinn College.
Guess how many seniors Our Lady of the Lake is running with this season?
10.
13.
Wow. How many people are on the roster, bro? That was 2 bros in one show, by the way.
Bruh.
I mean, like how many non-seniors? There's some cool logos in this league.
Loyola University of New Orleans.
Oh, that one. How many Loyolas are there? Like, what are the Loyolas? What is the bind between Loyola, Marymount, Loyola of Houston, New Orleans, Loyola, Chicago? What is it's a faith-based bind, right? Are they all intertwined? Like, is there one overseeing Loyola? And then they have there's
Their
Loyola
schedule is
Marymount.
something else, to your point. They were supposed to play Dillard University, Wayland Baptist University, Wesleyan University, and then they were supposed to travel to Waxahachie, Texas. Is that even how you say that?
Oh yeah, Waxahachie.
To play the Southwestern Assemblies of God University.
That's a cool logo, whatever that logo is, though, for them. The Southwest. Yeah, they've got Paul Quinn College and Wiley College and Jarvis Christian College.
You know what matters out of all this is they are a team willing to play basketball. And
that's right.
That is all that matters. A chance to get some run, have 2 games in a span of 48 hours. That's what Mountain West play is going to be in these 2-game series. Get a little something out of being on the road, and that is practice, and that is playing a game.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with you at all, man. Not arguing with you at all. Go out and play a game. Listen to Robert on News Radio KKB. What time's that game start, Micah? What time's our coverage start?
Game's going to start at 4, I believe. Coverage will start 3:30, I believe.
All right. So you're preempting TJ. Zach Jeffrey might be able to still get his show in lieu of Brandon, but you're preempting TJ on this. Oh, I mean, now you're really getting into some stuff. Like, that never happens unless they play in a tournament. But that's good. All right, so Lobos and Our Lady of the Lake Saints over on the Big Stick, 3:30 pregame. What?
Game starts at 5. Come on. This is just a train wreck of Our Lady of the Lake messiness, and let's move on.
And McQuatch over under. Who's your leading scorer tonight? Is this a team that one guy's going to be the guy every night, or is this a team that it's going to be majority? It's going to be one guy, and that's Malawach, or is it Rod Bound tonight? Yeah, you take McQuatch or the field tonight as your leading scorer. I'm taking the field.
I'm going to go with the field as well. I think someone hit some 3-point shots. You're going to see minutes divvied up. An opportunity to get a lot of guys playing time, I would assume and expect in this one, especially in the second half. So if you need a McQuatch-Malawach game, you're in trouble.
Well, look, when the Aggies played Arizona Christian, which was a ranked NAIA team, the game went down to the last possession.
It's also their first game of the season.
It was their first game of the season. Yeah, it was. It was. So I would expect something a little different today from the Lobos against Our Lady of the Lake Saints at Rice in Houston on your YouTube. You can watch it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right.
People want to know. I want to be prepared.
All right.
I think it's more about just seeing like how some of these guys look. Like, like what do they play like? Valdemar Manuel was someone that didn't really know a lot about. Then you see him and you're like, okay, this cat is interesting, right? He's on the floor. He's been a stretch for his entire career. They want him to play maybe more at the 5. How does he look with Byron Matos? Scott Padgett has a lot of work to do with him, but someone that he has all the physical traits, just needs to get the touch, the backcourt coming along, just get a sense of individually what these guys bring to the table. Because I thought in game 1, one of the biggest surprises was Emmanuel Quach. We saw he's a guy that can jump out of the gym. I thought he was probably just like a rebounding defender guy, but all of a sudden he was taking a couple threes. He's showing some confidence in his offensive game. So it's little things like that you start to find out in games like these.
All right, I'm going to lean on you a bit tomorrow. I'm not going to lie. I've got a ton of bowl stuff today. Good chance I don't get to stare that game down on the YouTube. So I may have to lean on you.
We got tomorrow.
You. All right. Again, the Lobos and the Saints over on News Radio. 5 o'clock tip, 4:30 pregame show. I got a lot of info to get you. Your emails, I will get as many of them as I can to you. Big fake news, Power 5, heading to locker room. I got all kinds of stuff. It's next on the opening drive. A 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Davis in the play action, looking. He's going to go back to Lewis, and Lewis makes a cut, and Lewis still on his feet. Dorian Lewis is in for a touchdown.
So Davison back to toss, and he's got all day. It's one miss, and he's rolling. He's got a guy. Can he get it there? Davison to Luke Weissong.
We told you he
touchdown.
Could spin that football, and that was a throw right there. I know he's got the win in his back, but
shoot. They'll get one off, and it'll count high off the window.
Oh my gosh.
There's a long 3.
Boom.
Bang. Martinez will beat the buzzer. Got it to go.
Fork driving kick. 3's in the air. It's good. Pass on the nice block by Hernandez Crawford.
And Brown in the transition. But why not, Steve? Is Corbalon's going to go and he puts it away. And Corbalon wants to put it down. Here comes Las Brown. You can't leave him alone. Put it down.
Gershon in transition. 3-on-2. Gershon going to go all the way. Whoa, Morgan. Has that ball stolen. Jeremy Segura.
Dribble, spin cycle, up and under move. What a pass. Wrap around pass.
Harris, Legate, the long bomb, 3 ball.
Oh, great steal by Quinteros, lays it up and scores.
The whole little jump step in the... And look out, here comes Agbayosi. Crawford set. That's blocked. Lansing says, get that out of here. Sister to sister, Marianne Lansing's going to go all the way. Turnaround. Ramos, pump fake, everyone bites. Ramos hits.
Jackson loses it. Jalen Bond back, alley-oop, put it down. Dunkalicious, how about it?
Lovato driving. They're going to count it. Gallegos. Ooh, a little spin and a finish. Natalia Chavez. Good spin. Takes a...
Here's Ramos. Nice jump stop to the...
Maybe gambling a little bit. Oh, there's a...
Hill, little step, high window. And a... Got the second. To the middle. Here we go. 3.9. It's Cooper's going to run with it. Cooper's
All right, knocking you through this beautiful Tuesday. You got a little snow? Do you guys have snow on that side of town? I got snow, a little dusting of snow in the yard. Yeah. Yeah, I got snow. All right, you want these thoughts out here. That's why you have sent these emails to me at jeff@610knml.com or jj@610knml.com. So I'm going to read them for you. Omar says Dallas Cowboys, 49ers, Texas Stadium, loser eliminated from the playoffs. If those things don't get you excited, Jeff, then you don't have a pulse. He says, as I heard folks poo-poo our win over the Bungles, some of those same people were going crazy over that garbage Lobo football victory Saturday. If 2-5 is so much better than 1-6 for Lobo football, then isn't 6-7 versus wins better than 3 wins for Dallas Cowboys going into 2021? Why was that win garbage, Omar? Because we're not
hard times. I can't tell if he's being real or throwing a bad football joke out there. I just don't.
Why is that a garbage? Explain to me what a garbage win is. I've never heard of bad win. That's a garbage win over a team that was 4-2 with a 5th-string quarterback. You're wrong. No, because you're not getting enough love because the Cowboys beat the Bengals 31-7 and people aren't going crazy over the Cowboys. I put the D back in Dallas. What do you want? Because
what more do you want?
What more do you want? I gave you back your freaking D. Yes. What more do you want? Mean Machine. Where are the snaps coming from, Jeff? Oh, here's a variation on an old theme. Assuming all these guys are healthy next season, Tavaka, Trey Hall, Connor Janal, Chavez, and remember, we've been told Brandt is the best of the bunch. Where's Gonzalez going to come up with enough PT to keep everyone happy? I don't think you can count on a quarterback limping off the court seemingly every week like this year. Well, first of all, you might not count on it, but you better plan on it. I mean, have you watched Lobo football for the last, I don't know, decade and a half? Give me a 2-game stretch where a quarterback has not limped off the field. I'm sure there's one, but there's not many.
In the 9
there's not many.
Probably.
Now,
Yeah. no one has told you Brent Hughes is the best. It was just a conversation of he was the starting quarterback to begin last season. So of that group, he won the job.
Yeah, and there aren't enough snaps for everybody unless people aren't healthy. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's like every football team in America. Rod says no spring football, Jefferson. There's no way, zilch, that Michelle Lujan Grisham allows practice in March. I've had Lobo fans telling me they can push it back as late as May, but isn't that too late? Isn't the reason we don't want a spring season is that it doesn't allow injured players enough time to recover before the start of fall camp in July? By the way, aren't you glad we played and got the season out of the way and didn't listen to the folks that wanted to wait? If the season was starting this week or next, or some wanted, would things be better? Was the governor going to allow games at the stadium? It's from Rod. No. It could be like the Aggies. Their season's starting in February. They're playing Our Lady of the Lakes, and who are they playing? They got 2 games.
Well, they play Highlands.
And Tarleton. Tarleton.
And I think one of the other kind of new WAC members, potentially.
All right. Dixie, maybe? Howard, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Good day, sir.
Good day, gentlemen. Garbage win?
Yeah, I don't even know what that means. Yeah, that's what he said.
Man, you know what? People are never happy, are they? I feel like, I feel like the program is. I'm really proud of the Lobos right now. Danny Gonzalez he's just full of piss and vinegar all the time and firing these guys up. And I know he made a few, weird comments as far as unless you're dead, we're not going to go get you or something like that. But whatever, they're 2-0 in my book right now, and I'm excited for the next football season to start because I think he's building a culture of winning here. And wasn't Fresno State 4-2?
Yeah, 4-2, 4-3, yeah, 4, something like that. Yes.
So that's a garbage win. I mean, pardon me, but I think that's a progressive win and progress, hopefully, to what we're going to see more of. And I'm like you, Jeff. I know a lot of times people wanted to build on the last win of the year, and it really didn't mean too much. But I think this one does. I'm with you. I think this one means a lot. And I did want to pass along my appreciation for putting the D back in Dallas, okay?
See? I'm glad someone appreciates that, Howard. I'm glad that didn't go unnoticed.
I do, but again, let's not get too crazy. Let's not hoist an NFC East division banner because the Bengals are pretty pathetic, aren't they?
Yeah, they're bad. But it wasn't a garbage win. It was a good win. You went out and pounded them. A good win. I'm not going to give you the Super Bowl for it any more than the Lobos was a garbage win. It's just stupid.
So you don't think the Cowboys are on a
2 minutes
Super Bowl run now, huh?
No, I don't.
No, okay, just clarifying that. Okay,
yeah,
well, you guys
they got their D back. Yeah.
Proud of our Lobos.
See, Howie. Yeah, I mean they get the D back, but they don't they don't get
one step at a time.
Yeah, easy. All right, OLOL basketball roster. That's Our Lady of Lake. I got to take a look at the basketball roster. They have 37 players listed on the team. Wow, is that right, Micah?
Yeah.
Well, no, the 13 seniors is nothing.
Well, so they have 19. They have 19 guys with numbers, and then they have 19 guys on like a practice squad. So yeah, they have around like almost 40 guys.
God bless them.
Line every 2 minutes, new lineup, just coming at you fresh.
They just do line changes like in hockey. Boom, boom.
With COVID,
boom.
you got to be careful.
I got it.
Those extra guys.
Got to keep the same 5 guys together. You're not allowed more than 5, so these 5 are in, those 5 are in. I got it. Hondos is heading to the locker room, Jeff. Back in the days when I played, if you had to use the restroom, you just said you were going into the locker room for an equipment adjustment. All right, maybe that's what Lamar did yesterday. I don't know. All right, tomorrow, we're working on some actually really fun stuff for tomorrow. But we always are working on really fun stuff. Thanks to Isaiah Chavez, the Mountain West Conference Offensive Player of the Week. Jim Rome Show is next. Dan Patrick after that. Sports Bar this afternoon at 3. Level basketball's over on News Radio starting at 4:30. We're back tomorrow morning with more award-winning radio for you starting at 7 a.m. Micah, wonderful work. Alden, Cobra Kai. J. Pole. What do you know, J. Pole? JJ, have fun today. What are you doing? You're going to read it? I got to get you that book, Everybody Poops, so you can read it to Austin.
Just read some books, watching basketball on YouTube. Have a nice day.
Yeah, buddy. Enjoy the day, boys and girls. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
looking, and he's got a guy wide open, and it's Gay, and he's going to walk into the end zone. But he did a good job with it. First and goal, it's Chavez to the middle, and Chavez stops.
And Stevens in motion. On the handoff to Mitchell. Look out! Oh, see you later. Take it to the house. Fly. Cardinals fly. To the other side. Provides some protection. And off to Webskowski again. Look out. See you later. Good night. Touchdown. Webskowski. Day. He's going to fire to the end zone. Open man, touchdown, Wildcats. Not a defender inside.
A little bit.
Kowski on the sideline. Hasta mañana. He's off to the races. Touchdown, Clovis.
Albuquerque this afternoon.
34-24. Late to third. How about this run? Nice play. Deckerman. He's still on his feet. Touchdown, Wolverine.
Exactly what they want to get yards.
He's going to go for it. He's got a guy towards the end zone. It's Krebs. Touchdown. What a play.
And long here for the Storm. Handoff to, we're going to fake the handoff, excuse me. Davidson on the deep ball. He's got some space, and it's caught. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Storm. Wow. Santa Maria.
And so they'll send one deep and returnable at the 2. Usually Volcano do either a reverse or a fake reverse, and here it is a reverse. And a move to the outside. There is a lane. Look out! Shot out of a cannon. Rodriguez is going to take it all the way.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the front.